of a few different rounds of downpours and also some thunderstorms, some of which could become severe later this afternoon into this evening. Temperatures today in the upper 70s to around 80 degrees. Outside of that evening thunderstorm, watch for some patchy fog that may develop late tonight. It stays sticky and mild with overnight lows near 70.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Pro Savings Days at Lowe's means up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, save an additional $1,000 when you buy 4 select LG major appliances. Valid through 9/26. Selection varies while supplies last. See Associate or Lowe's.com for more details and qualifying items.
Eli Manning here. There's nothing like football and King's Hawaiian sliders. There's something about those soft, fluffy, irresistible King's Hawaiian sliders that make them a winner on game day. Pick some up this weekend in the bakery or deli section of your grocery store. King's Hawaiian. There's nothing like it.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Number 1 on your car radio preset and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. WDAS and WD273D Philadelphia is Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler.
Sam Oshtry, you ready to go?
I'm ready to go.
All right, here we go.
The 3-2 pitch. Swung on, hit in the air, center field. It's deep. Going back, Marcy to the track, at the wall. He jumps. It's gone into the hedges. And it's an all-time Major League record for Kyle Schwarber. His 55th home run of the season. And it's swung on, rocketed to right, high and deep, and on its way into the second deck. No doubter from Schwarber, his second of the night. Kyle Schwarber with home run number 56 on the season.
First pitch. Swing on, hit the center field, hit well. It's slicing, it's carrying. Giddy up and gone into the bullpen. A 3-run homer, Aaron Judge, number 50. There you go. Here's the drive to right center field. He is going to do it. Giddy up, baby. Goodbye. Home run for the captain is second tonight, number 51.
Now the windup in the 1-1, swinging a drive deep to right field. Holy smokes, where is this going to land? Upper deck right field. Number 59 for Cal Raleigh. The chance of MVP. MVP, the stretch of the pitch to Cal. Swinging a drive deep to right field. There it is, number 60. The modern-day Bambino has just tied Babe Ruth's record of 60 home runs for third all-time in American League history.
Oh, my Lord. Are you not entertained? Yes. Sam Oshtry, Major League Baseball, hitting in a big way. Oh, by the way, we still got 4 days left. Oh, by the way, still plenty of playoff spots up for grabs. I think 4, if I'm not mistaken. We know the final wild card spot in the National League, which is pretty important for the Titans, is still up for grabs. I think the Mets are holding that down at this point in time. The Reds have lost back-to-back games as they battled back once Skeens was removed last night. Unfortunately, they did come up short against the Pittsburgh Pirates. We got a lot to discuss, but man, let's start there. Sam Oshtry, Sean Brace with you here, live Daily Ticket. Luke Arcaini will join us in just a little bit. But this is awesome. Like, if you are a sports fan, and I realize that the Seattle Mariners are probably not on the television screen for you 98% of the time, no doubt about it. But like, if you're a sports fan, just a general fan of all things sports, Cal Raleigh and what he has done this year, continuing to do, 60 home runs, it has to have your attention. It's insane. He's a switch hitting catcher. Oh, by the way, for the Seattle Mariners, who won the division, and he's doing things that nobody has ever done before. He's blowing away the all-time home run mark for catchers in a season. You look at some of the great catchers that you had. Perez with the Royals had the lead. Johnny Bench over the years. Piazza. He's smoking all 60 home runs for a switch hitting catcher. And yes, last Monday on this show, I dipped my toe into the AL MVP waters.
What'd you take?
Plus 475, Cal Raleigh.
He's favored now.
Of course he is.
Minus 200.
But in that show, because it was crazy because they were trading barbs. Even last night, as Judge hit 2 home runs, as you heard, all thank you to the Yankees radio network, Mariners radio network, and the Phillies radio network. Thank you for the calls there. But it was crazy just to watch like the AL MVP market go up and down as Judge hit a home run. All right. The next thing you know, Raleigh hit a home run. And then Judge hit another one. And then Raleigh hit his 60th. And now he is a pretty good favorite. We'll go over those numbers in just a second. But it's been tremendous. And just as a general sports fan, it is playoff baseball, but no, playoff baseball doesn't start till September 30th officially. Right here, right now, this has to be captivating your attention.
I feel like we're numb to the stuff that Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani are doing at this point, especially Shohei as a pitcher, and he's emerged back as a great pitcher again this late in the season. But what Cal Raleigh is doing and what Kyle Schwarber are doing, that stuff's incredible. I mean, this is only the 3rd time in MLB history that at least 4 players have hit at least 50 home runs. The last time was 2001, and before that, 1998. And those obviously were the steroid era. So it's a little even more improbable that 4 guys have hit 50 plus this year. But what Kyle Schwarber and Cal Raleigh are doing, because we haven't seen it from those 2 guys at this level, is incredible, especially Kyle Schwarber, who hit his 56th last night. 2 away from tying Ryan Howard for the all-time home run record in one season. 58, that would be 3 away from breaking it. We'll see if he chases that down with, I believe you said 4 games remaining. But what those 2 guys are doing is even more impressive at this point. And I'd give both of them MVPs. I mean, I know Shohei is going to win it in the NL, but I would give Kyle Schwarber the MVP in the NL.
There's a case.
I would give Cal Raleigh the MVP in the AL over Aaron Judge. So it's good to see he's favored, but I'm not convinced he's necessarily going to win.
No, the hard part is the voters, and you're right. And Judges both of them are deserving. Both Shohei and Kyle Schwarber are deserving of the MVP. And I saw, Chris Russo, Mad Dog, on television today said that if he had a vote, he'd vote for Schwarber. It still is a possibility, and especially if he continues to hit bombs. The way he does it, it's just insane. Like that second one, he smashed deep into the night.
There are no doubters.
Yeah.
No doubters.
And he's been doing it all season long.
With the AL thing, I heard Jeff Passan talking about his vote. And there is a hard argument to make for Cal Raleigh when you're comparing him and all the other numbers to Aaron Judge. Like you look at batting average and all these other WAR and slugging percentage. It's like Judge is so far ahead of Raleigh and all those categories. And there's also the voter fatigue factor, which we see in a lot of MVP races. So I think it should go to Cal and Kyle Schwarber, but I'm not convinced it will.
But here's the deal. As Matty Berry is down there at East Carolina, this is insane. Yeah, ECU is on tonight, taking on Army, Thursday Night Football in college. True story, right there. That store.
Wait, isn't this your? Isn't this?
Yes.
I wasn't going to call you an alum.
I'm not an alum.
You went to school.
That store, right? I got arrested behind that store right there.
What's it called? The Pirate? What?
No, it used to be like a. What was the convenience mark there? True story. You ready for this one? Timeout. Timeout. We're calling it 20
about the MVP
on the
race?
Major League Baseball. True story. And this was crazy because I ended up going to jail.
For a night in jail?
I spent the night in jail.
How many hours?
Couple hours, because they claimed that I went to the bathroom behind the store.
So public urination?
I got pulled over in a cab. I got into the cab. I swear to you, I did not go to the bathroom. I swear to you, to this day. This is 2002. I swear to you, I did not go to the bathroom.
So why would they think that you were going to the bathroom?
It was insane, dude. I'm in the cab going home. It's like 1:45 in the morning. The cab is getting pulled over. The cab driver goes, "What did you do?" I go, "I didn't do anything." He picked me up on the corner. Next thing you know, the cops are like, "Step out." Put me in handcuffs.
So they saw you. They think that they saw you go to the bathroom and then get into the cab, and they followed the cab?
Correct.
Jesus.
Yeah, dude. It was crazy. And I ended up going to the tank, the drunk tank. Man, I was, it's a college kid.
Yeah.
2002. I was feeling pretty good. But I swear I did not go to the bathroom. I swear to this day that I got pulled over. I got arrested for not going to the
Were you in
bathroom.
cuffs and everything?
Oh yeah, they cuffed me the whole night. I didn't fight or I wasn't like aggressive
How
towards
did you
them.
get out of jail the next
They
day?
let me go. They were like, okay, you can leave now.
No bail or anything. No arraignment.
I think there was a bail. I think
But
somebody
did
had
they
to
just
come.
realize like you didn't actually do that? I guess there weren't like
No,
surveillance.
there was no surveillance tapes, and then I ended up because I think my friend had a father that was in the the public, not a lawyer, and he's like, look, I just talked to him. Here's the fine. Just pay this, and it will go away. And I didn't want to.
No one goes to jail anymore for public urination. If you piss outside and a cop finds you, you're just getting fined. You're not going to the tank for public urination anymore.
They locked me up.
That's crazy.
And they pulled over a cab. I got pulled over in a cab.
That was your last night at East Carolina?
No, I wish it was, but no, there was plenty more after that. And I'm still feeling it to this day. No, but what a great time it was down there. But yes, they're behind that store that they just had on television, which is now some other convenience mart. That's where I ended up getting arrested, or that's where they claimed I did my work down there. Anyways, fun trip down memory lane. East Carolina 4-point favorites against Army. I do expect East Carolina to have a little bit better of a showing. They got beat up pretty good against a really big BYU team, but Army's not going to back down. Army's already had a good win this season, so I don't know. I think that's going to be a tough game. All right, anyways. Back to the Major League Baseball storylines that are happening fast and furious, and there's so many to enjoy. And, Cal Raleigh has my attention more than anything because, Sam, it comes back to trusting your eyes. I know that these voters sometimes find themselves voting for players because of X stat or this storyline or whatever it may be. But can't we just look at the position that he is playing? Cal Raleigh strapping on the equipment day in, day out, handling the pitching staff, handling the relievers that come in, leading the Seattle Mariners to their first division championship in 24 seasons. The first time since 2001, the Mariners have won the AL West. It's not because of anybody else.
Yeah.
It's because of Cal Raleigh. So, can't we trust as a voter, I'm asking you, just trust. Judge is amazing. Shohei's amazing, but realize the most valuable player to that team and then extrapolate that conversation to the league. I just feel like it's a no-brainer. Cal Raleigh has to be the AL MVP.
It's the hardest sport to evaluate value. So they should probably just change the award because in the NBA and NFL, it's pretty easy to evaluate value. It's what would this team look like without this player? And there's a lot of metrics you can find with the NBA and MVP conversation in the NFL because that's usually just a quarterback who wins MVP. And of course, they're the most valuable position in football. With MLB and baseball, it's so different because how can you really evaluate one player and his impact on the team where one player can't impact the sport the way people can in other sports? Obviously, Cal Raleigh has been amazing. The Mariners wouldn't be as good without him. The Yankees wouldn't be as good without Aaron Judge. Phillies wouldn't be as good this year without Kyle Schwarber. But they also aren't in their spots solely because of those one players, because it's just one player, and one player can't impact the sport in that way. So all that to say, when it comes to baseball and comes to MVP conversation, it's not really the most valuable player. It should just be the most improbable best player. And what I mean by most improbable is who's had the most improbable run this year. And that's Cal Raleigh. Everything he's doing as a catcher, as a switch hitter that you're talking about, it's been so impressive, breaking history. It's been such an improbable run for him that he deserves the award over a guy like Judge, who's obviously one of the best players in baseball and is a perennial candidate year in and year out.
Yeah, it's insane to see what the Mariners are doing. And again, like I said, it comes back to 2001, where this is a team that hasn't had success as far as winning the division. The Astros have been front and center, of course. 2001, Sam Oshtry. How old were you in 2001?
I was born that year.
Wow.
When they won the division, I was 6 months.
All right. So the number one song at the time was...
That's the last time the Mariners have won the division?
Fallen by Alicia Keys.
I love Alicia Keys.
Shrek, the original Shrek was released. Shrek. Julio Rodriguez was just as old as you, 8 months old. Ichiro was in his rookie year.
He only won that division once with them.
Yeah, that's interesting. The first Harry Potter film was the number one movie. And finally, the iPod had not yet been released.
That's crazy.
2001. In the
24
year 2001.
24 great years since then.
How about it? ECU, proud down there. Let's go. Great times. Great times, East Carolina. Should have had Jansen on. Pop on for a little visit down memory lane. Luke Arcaini's going to join us in a little bit. He just he had some duties to do with his full-time job. And yeah, you're good, bro. As he's texting me now. I'm like, yeah, I totally understand. But we'll get Luke up because, of course, the Phillies, bringing it back to what Schwarber has done this season. And I get it. Locally, that's the storyline. It's all about the Phillies. Don't get me wrong. I'm such a sports fan that this is what we do. We love this stuff, whether it's NBA, NFL, whatever, college football, fantasy, like national conversation. I love it. And Cal Raleigh is just insane. And oh, by the way, last Monday doing the show, started making the case. I think he hit 2 the night before. And I'm just like, plus 475?
That flipped quickly.
At the end of my show, it went 3-1. So
Yeah.
It went from 475. I would not have pulled the trigger at plus 300. Should have still. But I said at plus, I need to dig up the audio so I could be like, yo, put it out as a promo. Because I said, you're crazy if you don't take a slap at plus 475. Anything can happen over these next 2 weeks. He can go off. Judge can go into a slump. Judge can get hurt. The Mariners, if they win the West, they had a big-time series against the Astros coming up. There were so many reasons why you need to look at Raleigh, and everything has played out exactly how I said it would on last Monday at plus 475. Now the hard part, the voters, and as we discussed. So
I think Raleigh is a great case, and that's an amazing pull by you at that price. And he's favored now. So obviously look at the value and say that's great.
Yep.
But when I'm looking at the voters talk about it, the guys who actually have a vote right now, I feel like I'm still seeing more people make the case for Aaron Judge.
Sure.
And so that's why I still think it's Raleigh has a lot of hurdles to clear before we crown him that award, which is why I'm a little surprised that it's minus 200 in Raleigh's direction.
Minus 220 right now. And it's just prisoner of the moment with these odds because that's where the money's going in. And exactly like I said, you followed it last night. Judge hit a home run. It swung in his direction. Raleigh hits his first. It swung in his direction. Judge hits another. Back and Judge. There were some good people keeping up with it on the timeline that I was paying attention to. So a lot of fun. But as I said, back over to the Phillies. Luke Arcaini is going to join us, I believe, at 3:30. He's texting me right now in the middle of the show. Sorry. 3:20. So he's going to call here in 2 minutes. The big thing for me about the Phillies as we put a bow on this regular season is just how dominant they have been. The numbers as far as starting pitching is concerned, Schwarber is catching all of our attention because he's about to have an opportunity to break the all-time home run record for that Ryan Howard owns, and that's a special deal. But this team has now clinched the bye, which is perfect. You get that little bit of a rest. You're at home. You got a home field advantage. The Brewers are going to be your overall 1 seed. It is what it is. Not much you can do there. Tip your cap. They had a great regular season, but Luzardo, the numbers that he was putting up, 10 strikeouts last night. You go to, of course, Ranger and what he was able to do. Christopher Sanchez. And, oh, by the way, when you total Sanchez and Luzardo together with the strikeouts that they had this year, if Zach Wheeler was healthy, Sam, and he made it to the end of this season, we could potentially be talking about one of, if not the, I swear to you, the numbers are that crazy.
No, they are.
One of the greatest starting rotations, if not the greatest starting 3 pitchers in a starting rotation in Major League Baseball history. And that didn't hit me this year. Did it you? Did it for you?
Not really, because I feel like there was so much skepticism to start the year and pessimism too, based on how last year ended and essentially just bring the whole team back. I really think it flipped around the deadline when you do exactly what every Philly fan wanted to do. Dave Dombrowski did a brilliant job bringing in Harrison Bader as an extra bet and then bringing in Duran as a closer. And we really needed a reliable closer, even though he gives up one the other night. He's been an incredibly reliable closer and people trust him going into the playoffs. And so that was what the team needed. And they fulfilled those needs at the deadline. So I think post deadline, the vibes and they continued to win, of course, we really started to pick up and people started to believe again. And now we're at the point where there's a lot of belief coming into October that this team could win the whole thing. And there's been that the last 2 years and it's ended in disappointment and despair. But the hope is back, and it's for good reason because they're playing their best baseball over the last 2 to 3 months. Last year, that was not the case. They were a middling team after the All-Star break last year. There was all those signs of regression heading into the postseason that this team was going to lose early, and I think we just ignored all of those because, this team's been coasting the last 2 months. Once again, to the postseason, it'll be fine. But that wasn't the case. Obviously, they lose to the Mets in the divisional round after getting the bye, winning the division. This is different. They're playing their best baseball the last couple months. July, August, September, into October is when they're playing their best. And that's why I think the vibes have completely shifted in the city, backing this team. But we haven't probably acknowledged how dominant they've been because it took a while. It took a while to get there because of how last season ended.
I have not even thought about it in this ballpark, and shame on me, but like I knew it was a good team. I knew that they had a lot going in their favor, especially since the trade deadline. But when you start to talk about what Luzardo did this year, set a career high 216 strikeouts, the most by a lefty for the Phillies since Cliff Lee. We're in Cliff Lee territory. Cliff Lee, when he was pitching for the Phillies, it was must-see TV. He made it look way too easy. And now Luzardo, after his 10 strikeouts last night, oh, by the way, no walks, 7th start this season with double-digit strikeouts. Yeah, Jesus Luzardo, his season, way over my head. Did not even
You know what? I think we deserve blame for that. The media, the fans, everything. Because when you talk about Jesus Luzardo, he's been phenomenal this year. But what are like the key moments we've been talking about him? When he was tipping pitches to the Mets, when he blew those runs, when he gets men on base, and how much he struggled with men on base. So we haven't actually highlighted the positives. Us as a fan base and as Philly media, we always talk about the negative moments with Jesus Luzardo, even though he's been one of the best pitchers in baseball this year.
All right. So anyways, let's keep it moving. The Phillies conversation rolling on here for us. And again, just from yesterday, the fact that Jesus Luzardo had the season that he did, the only duo of teammates that each have had 200 strikeouts this year, Jesus Luzardo and Christopher Sanchez. And Zach Wheeler, let me real quick.
Well, also, the other thing is, but while you're looking that up, they've been so good with men going down. Like we just talked about Zach Wheeler, how great this rotation would be with Zach Wheeler. Christopher Sanchez. Imagine Christopher Sanchez is a number 2 in baseball right now.
Yeah.
Like he would be the best number 2 by a mile as a starting pitcher. But then Trey Turner goes down. And we also didn't acknowledge Trey Turner's season before he went down. He was playing phenomenally.
He's still number 1 in batting average this year.
He was great, and the home runs weren't there, so people were upset. But who cares? He was constantly getting on base, like you said, number 1 in batting average. So he wasn't properly acknowledged. Then he goes down. Other guys step up. So it's really been a collective effort, and the depth of this team has been showcased over the last month or so, and they're going to need that in the postseason.
Yeah, shame because Zach Wheeler was at 195 strikeouts. He was going to blow that number away. You would have had 3 starting pitchers for your rotation for the Phillies with over 200 plus strikeouts. It's just insane what this could have been if Zach Wheeler would have stayed healthy. But all in all, I feel really good about what we have right now. Of course, Sanchez and Luzardo, Ranger, Nola. You got a great bullpen, hitting its stride at the right time, getting a little bit of a rest. And then, of course, the bats. And here's what I know. This is what I've been saying for the last 2 years. Of course, going back to 3 years ago when this team made the World Series. One of the big reasons why they made the World Series was because the ball goes boom. They hit the home run.
Power.
We know it didn't happen last year. The year before, kind of a mixed bag. They did hit some bombs, but they came up small in that Arizona series, no doubt.
That was the problem.
They
couldn't advance runners in that Arizona series, those last 3 games, really, and the home runs weren't there.
The optimism for this Phillies team right here, right now, and I get it, it was the Marlins, and I'm not trying to say that that's going to be the type of pitching that they're going to see starting on October 4th. No. But the fact that they're putting this all together with the starting pitching, the rotation, the additions are hitting their stride. Health is in their favor, and the ball is going boom. Last night, hitting 8 home runs. They hit 7 home runs in a game already this year. This isn't a fluke. This is a team that can hit home runs. And if that is the case, I feel great. I feel great about the Phillies' chances. Again, one of, if not the toughest sport to win a championship, well documented. So even though that they were number 1 on the odds board for DraftKings Sportsbook for the last 3 weeks, I don't care about that. No. to me, I feel like it was an up for grabs opportunity for a lot of teams out there. But for my money, hitting the home runs, I'll put the Phillies up against anybody at this point in time. And if that's the case, I really do believe that this is a World Series championship team this year.
Yeah, and you're right. They are a power team that they hit home runs. They have a lot of power hitters, but that's also got them in trouble. So we can say if they do that, of course, they'll have postseason success. They also have to be great getting on base, advancing runners in scoring position, not chasing. That's the stuff that has ended their season the last 2 years. And that's the stuff everyone's been talking about all season on improving and not chasing on 0-2 counts. Like that's the stuff, and being patient in the box. If they can get over those hurdles, that more than anything is going to get them to and eventually win a World Series more than those homers and power hitting, because we know those will be there, but they won't always be in key moments against great pitchers.
No, you're right. You're right. And look, when you go down the list of home run numbers this year as a team collectively, I'd be interested to see what those September's numbers are, because this is one of, if not the winningest ball club in the month of September. They were heading into that Diamondback series. Since they returned, all they have done is won. So no, actually they did lose that game to the Marlins. That's right. So I'd be interested to know what that number is as far as winning teams in September. But at this point in time, Phillies are top 10 for home runs this season, 210 they're tied with the Diamondbacks for 210 right now. The teams in front of them, the Cubbies, they have 211. How about this one? The Sacramento A's. I want to call them Las Vegas A's. The A's have 216 home runs this year. Mets have 220, Dodgers 220, Angels 220, Mariners 236, Yankees 266 home runs. Of course, it's a ballpark.
My mind just went blank as you were talking, because as we're talking about good vibes heading into October in Philly with the Philadelphia Phillies, another team in Philly is playing again in October, and already bad vibes surrounding the team. If you look to your left right there, where breaking news just now, Jared McCain suffered torn UCL tear in right thumb. He's going to be out for a little while. Sixers season media day hasn't even started yet. And the bad luck is here. The misfortune is here. Jared McCain is going to be out for probably that's like it's not super serious injury, but he's not going to be starting the season. I'll tell you that in mid to late October when they do. He's going to be out for a little bit. So you think you can avoid it maybe just until practice starts. But no, Jared McCain torn UCL in his right thumb, suffered at a workout. He's going to be out for a little bit. So from the good vibes with the Phillies to the awful vibes across the street at the Xfinity Mobile Arena.
Lifting those two and a half pound weights.
He played that off well.
You know, I can't do it. I just can't do it. They're cursed.
They're cursed. That's what it is. It's just there's nothing like
if it can
rational
happen,
you can say about their curse.
If it can happen to that franchise, it will happen to that franchise. It is upsetting. Especially for a young gun like him. You just want to believe that, that look, I said it to you before the show, and I've been lucky to strike up a little bit of a conversation at times with Elton Brand, and this morning did at my local gym, and we were talking about the jerseys, and it's just quick jabs, and like I mean this. Those black jerseys did tug at the strings a little bit, like, oh, okay, like get a little pep in my step, like, all right, not anything I'm believing in this team, but at least like, okay, there's something positive. The floor, something positive, like, okay, I can get behind some good vibes. There's been a couple pictures that were released. One specific image where there was no Joel Embiid and there was no Paul George in the image. It was a group of the other guys that were practicing, McCain, Maxey up front, laughing. They had the belt. And I was just like, you know what? At least that's fresh. That's new. I can live with that. Of course, Edgecombe, like I can get behind that. And then, and I don't want to dog Joel Embiid because like that's not right. But it's just been tough and it's been well documented. And we don't need to go into that. But now you have this situation where Jared McCain is going to be out with the UCL torn in his thumb for whatever, 3-4 weeks, I would imagine that could be.
Probably at least, yeah.
Just
the team and him are deciding how to proceed, but that's
could mean surgery.
That's probably like a month.
Yeah, get the surgery and it's going to be 2 months or whatever. He'll be back. But
he'll be back. It's not like last year was a meniscus and it was season ending. It's just the misfortune starts before the season even starts, before practice has even started. And it's just that's Sixers going to Sixer. And now you need Quentin Grimes, though, even more to start the season.
Which is very intriguing because that's a big storyline that's coming out of there. We will talk some NBA coming up in the second hour. And, yeah, there's a little bit more misfortune from Kyle Lowry. It's like, dude, pick a lane, bro.
It'll never be about basketball with this team, ever. That's what I can guarantee. Never will be about basketball.
Well said. It's the Daily Tick, a little all over the place to get the party started on Thursday. I talked about getting arrested. We talked about Cal Raleigh hitting 60. We talked about the Phillies and how magical that they truly are this season. Are we giving them enough credit, enough attention in the right categories? East Carolina Army little talk there. And then Jared McCain is going to miss some time with the torn UCLA and on breaking news. Great start to the show. However, we do have some football that we have to get to. We have a Thursday night football game tonight. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued for one reason, and it's not Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals. I'll tell you exactly why I'm intrigued to see what happens this evening, because I do believe that there's something good happening with the Seahawks. We'll talk a little bit more in depth on that. Also fire up DraftKings, take a look at some props, see if we can find some winners for tonight. Big one, though, Sam, that I can't wait to discuss with you is college football.
Huge week.
I am locked in on a play for Oregon and Penn State. There are some games that I like. Up and down the card. It's a big card, as you pointed out, huge week, some great matchups, money in the dumpster, as we used to have from Mark Henry, and I love him. But ultimately, that was a great saying, so I got to let him have that. But money in the dumpster, yes. And it's, we got the big games with Oregon and Penn State, sure. But I do feel like I have the right pulse of this game. So I'm going to give that to you as well on the other side. So let's get over to the gridiron. Once again, Daily Ticket here on a Thursday. He's Sam Oshtry from The Score. I'm Sean Brace, off and running. Let's go. More after this.
If you can wager on it, we're talking about Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler. Now, total traffic for Philadelphia.
95 southbound Jack Hoffman to the Betsy Ross with a disabled vehicle in the center lane, and northbound back to Vine Expressway to Bridge. Schuylkill Jam westbound University to Vine and Boulevard to Belmont, eastbound Montgomery Drive to South. Are to tell a total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Stay tuned to Fox PHL The Gambler for the latest CEOs you should know.
It's Tony O'Donovan, President and CEO of Arkema Inc.
Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
This isn't just a game, it's a once-in-a-generation event. The Harlem Globetrotters 100-year tour. Celebrate 100 years of high-flying dunks, 100 years of show-stopping moves, and 100 years of changing the game. Bring the whole family and be part of the legacy. This game is once in a century. Be there at Xfinity Mobile Arena on March 1st. Go to HarlemGlobetrotters.com for your tickets to the 100-year tour.
Parking shouldn't slow you down. ParkWiz gives every driver a shortcut. Book ahead, save up to 50%, and skip the hassle of circling the block. Park smarter, park faster. ParkWiz. Download the ParkWiz app today and save every time you park.
Ugh, could this vintage store be any cuter? Right? And the best part? They accept Discover. Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right. So we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
DraftKings presents a message on responsible gaming.
If you're gonna play the game, boy, you gotta learn to play it right.
Whatever your wager, sometimes
you got to know when to hold 'em.
There are no locks or sure things, so
know when to fold 'em.
And if you feel like you're ready for a break,
know when to walk away.
Remember, it's more fun when it's for fun.
When the dealing's done.
Well said, man. Well said. At DraftKings, we believe it's more fun when it's for fun, and we want it to stay that way. We provide customers with helpful tools so they can set budgets, limits, and cool-off periods, and we encourage all customers to use these tools. So play responsibly. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas, 21 plus. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. I am quite aware of the dangers being on the road. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. These families' lives will be changed in an instant. We fight for these families as if they were our own. We've become America's largest injury law firm by winning cases just like these. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Injured? Dial # law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
The free iHeartRadio app makes your car radio jealous.
Live radio presets, lyrics for songs, and the most podcasts on the planet.
Plus, it all fits in your pocket.
Your car radio can't do that.
Make sure the free iHeartRadio app is on your smartphone now.
The #1 app for radio.
Hey, want to hear something great? Right now at Wendy's, you can get 2 of the #1 selling bacon cheeseburger in all fast food, the JBC, plus medium fries and a medium soft drink for just $8. Want to hear something else great? Double the burger means double the bacon. Now that's a game changer. 2 of the #1 bacon cheeseburgers with fries and a drink for just $8. Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Request $8 JBC meal deal to obtain discount. Individual items at regular price.
You know what's great about your investment account with the big guys? It's actually a time machine. Log in and zoom. Welcome back to 1999. It's time for an upgrade. At public.com, you can invest in almost everything. Stocks, bonds, options, and more. You could even put your cash to work at an industry-leading 4.1% APY. Leave your clunky, outdated platform behind at public.com. Go to public.com and fund your account in 5 minutes or less. Paid for by Public Investing Inc., member FINRA and SIPC. Full disclosures at public.com/disclosures.
Hey, man, you all right? Need me to call 911? No. Call Top Dog Law. Get top dollar for your accident at topdoglaw.com. Once again, that's topdoglaw.com.
May I have your attention, please?
You're listening to The Daily Ticket with Sean Brace, Philly's first daily sports gambling show.
Let us see the dough!
On Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler. The action starts here.
Off and running here on a Thursday Daily Ticket. Sean Bray, Sam Oshtry. Once again, the breaking news, very unfortunate. Jared McCain suffered a torn UCL. This is according to a Yahoo Sports that I have right now in front of me. 76ers guard Jared McCain suffered a UCL tear in his right thumb during a workout today. McCain and the team are consulting with specialists to determine their next steps. UCLA, I did that twice now. UCLA, oh, by the way, I do like UCLA this weekend against Northwestern, catching the points. It was fade the Bruins. Remember, we cashed in a lot over the first couple of weeks, but I feel like
with a new coach and interim.
Yeah. Plus Northwest, come on, we give them way too much credit. Anyways, Jared McCain, though, I would imagine Sam will probably get the surgery and then have to be out, 4 to 6 weeks, right? Quick, come back. All in all, like, you have been the #1 on this category, on this topic, and you're saying has been, we got to change our expectations. And I think nationally people are trying to pump those expectations up that this team can compete if healthy, keeping it together. Like, we know all in all that it's going to be a really big stretch to believe that Paul George will be healthy. I mean, even he's dealing with something right now. I know he's out there. What's the latest with Paul George?
He's ready to go.
He's ready to go.
Yeah. He had some offseason surgery, but he's ready to go.
He's ready to go.
Yeah, as far as I know. We'll see you tomorrow.
But at the end of the day, are we talking about him making it through a season healthy? Probably not. And the same thing with Joel Embiid. So change our expectations. And that comes back to Tyrese Maxey, Jared McCain, VJ Edgecombe, build with the Utes, and see what you can get going this year. And if they don't make the playoffs, then Nick Nurse is probably gone. There's going to be a big change. Daryl Morey will probably be gone.
Yeah, I mean, if they don't make the playoffs, then that's disastrous scenario.
But you the way you just replied to that, you think they're going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, I think they're going to make the playoffs. I mean, there's tempered expectations, but still saying they're going to make the NBA playoffs.
What's different about them? Because there was a write-up I read yesterday, and it was like their needs are all the where they have fixed what they needed, their weaknesses are all based off of rookies at this point in time. Or Jared McCain.
You're getting Jared McCain back.
Okay, but that's
maybe.
a big ask to say VJ Edgecombe is all of a sudden going to help them
get
with
Quentin Grimes for an entire season.
Really? Is he back?
He's going to be back.
Oh, okay.
Unless he sits out the entire year, he's no other options. The Sixers have all the leverage in that situation.
Okay.
He's not going to be there for the trip to Abu Dhabi in the preseason.
Why is he not back yet then?
Because he is making unrealistic demands. And so that's why he's holding out a little bit.
Okay.
And these conversations should have happened way sooner. But now the deadline is here because the season's here. So now you have to. And then there was an October 1st deadline. It's getting pushed back probably to October 7th or 8th. But eventually those deals will be worked out.
Okay.
VJ Edgecombe is a rookie that I think they drafted partly because they thought of him as an immediate impact rookie.
Yes.
A guy who can have an immediate impact on this team.
I have a lot of rookies on my fantasy team right now that aren't doing anything. So I'm very cautious to say we needed to be depending on a rookie here.
But you're not depending on him. He's just another piece to the puzzle. Okay. Get Trenton Wofford. But really the whole thing is why there's more optimism from this year is how could the injury luck be any worse than last year? I mean, Joel Embiid
that's a tagline there.
I mean, Joel Embiid essentially just didn't play last year. Let's just call it how it is. He just didn't play.
Yes.
Paul George missed a ton of time. Tyrese Maxey even dealt with some injuries.
Very true.
So it's like almost impossible. They'll have injuries. The Philadelphia 76ers led by Joel Embiid. Injuries will be there, always. But the injury luck and the injury bug won't be as bad as last year. I think that's the hope of this team can't finish 13th or 14th in the East like they did last year. It's just not making the playoffs would be inexcusable. I think when you say tempered expectations, it's coming down from last season where those were championship expectations. If you think this team led by Joel Embiid is going into the NBA championship, or even capable of making a run in the NBA playoffs, then you just have not been paying attention last decade and just ignoring every logical sign pointing that way or pointing the other way. But they're going to be a playoff team. Their talent is that of a top 5 team in the East. And so I think they're good enough to make the playoffs, even while dealing with some of those injuries, because they're better equipped to deal with it.
Their talent
when healthy.
Okay, so
is a top 5 team in the East.
What if you remove Joel Embiid and Paul George from the equation? Would you still say, where's their talent then?
Then they're not a playoff team.
Okay, well, that's where I'm at.
Again, I don't think the injury luck will be as bad.
Okay.
Both those guys.
I just think Joel's legs are what they are, and that's going to be the issue. And then Paul George, who knows? But that body's got some serious miles on it. He's 35, and he just can't stay healthy. So,
but then he was even McCain last year was out for obviously the year after playing 23 games. It was Maxey missed a lot of time. It was Andre Drummond missed time. It wasn't just those top 2 guys.
Okay.
It was all down the board. The injuries just killed them. It's just hard. I mean, it's possible, but it's hard to imagine that happening again.
All right. Well, while we're here, let's talk about this for a second. I go to ESPN because they released the top 100, and I say, you know,
that list is always a joke.
Sam Oshtry's in studio today. He's an NBA hole, so let's see if we can tee that up. Right?
NBA a-hole or just NBA hole?
Did I say it right?
I don't know. I couldn't
NBA
hear
hole, right? Isn't that?
Yeah, an NBA a-hole.
NBA hole.
So are you trying to call me an a-hole?
No. Isn't that what Bill Simmons says?
I don't know.
I like that. Yes, Bill Simmons says that, because you're the diehard NBA fan.
I just never heard that.
You never? I've used it multiple times. Okay.
Really?
Oh, I
loved it.
It's a term
I thought you were calling me an NBA a-hole. I loved it.
Term of endearment that I stole from Bill Simmons. I'm not a Bill Simmons listener, so when I did hear that for the first time, I said, whoa, I like that. That's a good call. So we have a few NBA holes on this station. Sean Bernard, yourself, you guys love the association. I do as well. But I think there's levels to it. You guys are clearly in a different tier than I am. Now, so I go on ESPN and I look at this top 100 list and I'm like, all right, I definitely will talk about that. And immediately I see Karl Anthony Towns, I think, is a little bit low. I think Ja Morant's a little bit low. I think Derek White's a little bit high. You know, the list is the list. It's going to get you going. I said, okay, that's easy. Boom, we'll bring that up later. Then I go to ESPN and I see Prime Video hire 76er guard Kyle Lowry as an analyst. And I said, whoa, Kyle Lowry's retired? Okay. Well, all right. Like, I thought he was coming back for another year. That's a big deal. I didn't hear that. How did I miss that? Click on it, and it says Kyle Lowry is joining a new team without leaving his current team. Prime Video announced Thursday that it has hired Lowry, the Philadelphia 76ers guard, who is about to enter what will be the 20th season of his pro career as an NBA on Prime analyst. It's a multi-year deal with Lowry, making select appearances this season, Prime said. I have an issue with that. I do. I just retire, Kyle. Like, you don't need to be doing both. Like, we don't need both. And I think you summed it up perfectly when you said it needs to be about basketball. And like, I understand that Kyle Lowry has 20 years veteran leadership. Is not a guy that, you know, he proves his worth. He you know, off the court, and you would like to have that. But this is what we call a distraction. And this team does not need another distraction. This is another talking point for the media to chew on. This irks me immediately. Just retire. Pick one or the other. Back in the day, it used to be like, I'm a basketball player. I'm not a social media guy. I'm not a podcaster. I'm not out here content creating. I'm not working for TNT while I'm hosting. And I know Draymond Green does it, and other players have done it in the past. Understood. But Draymond Green has won how many championships?
4.
Okay. The 76ers are terrible. Can you pick a lane, Kyle? Like, come on, man. What are we doing here? Either play hoop or go be an analyst.
To play devil's advocate, because you're way more fired up about it.
Yeah, it's just another just a distraction that they don't need.
To play devil's advocate, it's like, you as a player now, you kind of have to start setting up your post-playing career. And this is the way to do it. But the Draymond Green thing is interesting because that he always appears on TNT, usually at like the All-Star break or after the Warriors are out of the playoffs, and a couple appearances here and there when the Warriors are maybe off. But it's mostly his podcasting where his analyst role comes in.
It's true.
If Kyle Lowry is going to be appearing in studio consistently, not even consistently, a few times throughout the year, how does that work? Like, he's going to be flying when the Sixers have 2 days off maybe. Correct. And there's a Prime night.
Correct.
And he's going to fly to the Amazon Prime studios. Or I don't even know where they are, but maybe New York, train there. It's just, it doesn't come across right for a team, especially that has had some culture issues.
Yes.
That you're on the roster not to play. He's not going to be playing. Too much guard depth. He's not going to be getting any serious minutes. You're on the roster to build a better culture, to avoid meetings where Tyrese Maxey is calling out Joel Embiid for being late 2 weeks into the season consistently. You're on the team to help build this culture and bring everything together. You doing this is just, it's not a distraction for the Sixers when it actually happens, maybe, but it's a distraction going into the season where it's like, where are your priorities right now? Are you a basketball player?
Yep.
Or are you an analyst? And for them to use a roster spot on an analyst now is questionable. And I don't blame him necessarily because he's got to do what he's got to do. But it's really more of a Sixers thing where they're using a roster spot on this guy now.
I blame him. It's like, dude, he's going to get that job. Okay, maybe.
Not necessarily. It's a test run. Like, if he's not good, he's not getting that job.
Kyle Lowry's well-liked. He is
well-liked, and he'll be good.
Yeah, he'll be good. And I'm not, it's just like, pick a lane, dude. Like you said,
yeah,
it
does feel like he wanted to get to 20 years before he retired.
They just went through, who was the player that came out and said it wasn't me, and it was like, no, Joel Embiid did the interview, and he's like,
Eric
Gordon, thank you. So now you have a player that's actually on the media with the media. So now it's like, okay, what if he says something dumb on a show? Like, you just don't need it. Nick Nurse is about to be fired. This team went through some, last year. Like, come on. What are we doing right now?
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, look, launching a podcast is one thing. Literally every player and their mother has done that now, including Paul George, of course, Podcast P.
Podcast P, baby.
But actually joining a network where you're going to be doing in-studio appearances, like, that can wait. You're probably right about that. Like, Jason Kelce waited until his career was done, and he knew he had that lined up. He waited until his career was done. Draymond Green waits until the playoffs are over for the Warriors and then joins the studio.
You want to be an analyst? Go be an analyst.
It's like doing it mid-season. I'm going to be interested to see how it works out. But if he's doing it mid-season when the Sixers are like have 2 or 3 days off and he's going to do that, it's like, this is obviously where your priorities are. Just go do that. You're right.
Way too many podcasts out there these days.
Oh, way too much. I actually just clicked on.
I clipped this. There's a podcast. This guy is talking about mozzarella. This mozzarella would change your life. My algorithm had me.
Oh, but that's not an athlete podcast.
No, just way too much podcast.
There's Front Office Sports had an article. Have we reached peak athlete podcast? He's like, how many can the market support? And pretty much what it says is that most of these athlete podcasts have 0 viewers.
0.
And there's a lot of advertising dollars going to them because they just expect these athletes to attract viewers.
Correct.
But most of them aren't profitable, have no viewers. They aren't worth the investment for advertisements.
Detroit Lions just had like 2 secondary players create with it.
I mean,
I don't even know who the hell they were.
It's getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand.
It's been way out of hand. Podcasts in general. You people are crazy. And look, you know, I come from a podcasting world. I can appreciate a good podcast, but there's way too many people that are just like, all right, let's turn these microphones on and we'll open up shop and talk about, you know, X, and then that's it, and waste time for 45 minutes. And oh, by the way, who the hell's watching this stuff? Like you said, nobody's watching, so whatever. But Kyle Lowry, that one irked me. And you know what, Sam, I'll be fair. Like when it comes to in season, it probably won't even bother me. But right here, right now, as we're going into the season, it's just something we don't need. It's just something the 76ers don't need. And I think you said it correctly, and we'll end it on this. It will never be about just basketball for this franchise right now. Like I need people dialed in. Hoops.
Yeah. And look, media day's tomorrow. The Knicks just had a media day, and they've built not to glaze the Knicks. Everyone's going to go on my tail for glazing the Knicks here. But the Knicks just had a media day and started practice this week, and all the questions are surrounding how are the Knicks going to play basketball? How are they going to use Karl-Anthony Towns more of a hub? How are they going to play faster? How are they going to use Jalen Brunson off the ball coming off pin downs? What's Mike Brown's style going to be? What's the rotation going to look like? Those are basketball questions because the Knicks have finally created a stable, good basketball culture. The Sixers media day tomorrow, all of the questions will be about Jerry McCain's injury, Joel Embiid's playing status, his injury. Is Paul George healthy? What's happening with Quentin Grimes? What's going on with Kyle Lowry being an analyst? The questions won't be about basketball. None of them. Yeah. That's an unstable, bad culture. And that's why the Sixers will always be the Sixers and never actually be a contender.
All right, to this top 25, top 100 list, and ESPN putting out right now, you know, I look at Ja Morant at 33, and that's immediately one of the first things that comes to my mind. And I get it. He's had some deal with his own issues, but when Ja Morant is at his best, he's one of the best players in the game. At 33,
I really have tried to avoid looking at this list because it's so bad year in and year out.
Derek White is 26. Derek White is in front of Karl-Anthony Towns, Max. Derek White is what? I mean, what is he on the Celtics? Number 3, number 4? What's his option?
Number 2 without JT.
Okay.
He's number 3 with JT.
But he never faces the best of the best as far as
100%.
defenders. And you're going to put him in front of guys that do.
He's an elite role player. He's LeBron James of role players, but he's a role player, and he's a glorified role player. This list is, I mean, it's ridiculous every single year. Like even, I mean, Derek White's ahead of Tyrese Maxey, Karl-Anthony Towns, Trae Young. It's a ludicrous list. I try not to look at every year.
All right, but we'll break down the top 10.
That's what I was going to go to.
All right, so the top 10 reads as follows here, and see if you disagree with anything. It goes Jalen Brunson at 10.
Ridiculous right off the bat. Just absurd.
Where is he at? Where should he be at?
Go through the next.
Kevin Durant, 9.
That's a joke. Kevin Durant's better than Jalen Brunson and LeBron James, who you're about to say is 8?
Well, LeBron James is 8.
Kevin Durant and LeBron James
better than
are
Jalen
ahead
Brunson.
of Jalen Brunson right now at this point in their careers.
They should not be.
There's no rational argument you can make for that. Jalen Brunson
only history,
has carried teams. Yeah, want to look at the early 2010s when Jalen Brunson was a pup? Sure, you can make the argument that LeBron James was better than Jalen Brunson and he's had a better career. Sure, that's not what this is. It's a best players list heading into this season. Jalen Brunson has just carried his team to the playoffs back-to-back years into playoff series wins. When was the last time LeBron James did that? Kevin Durant was been the best player on his team last couple of years with another perennial all-star, and that team doesn't even make the playoffs anymore. It gets bowed out in the first round. Jalen Brunson is on such a different tier than those guys. Forget like one slot better than the other. LeBron James and Kevin Durant aren't even on the same tier as Jalen Brunson at this point in their careers. How they impact the game of basketball, how they impact winning, what they have to do for their teams to be successful. It's absurd. There's who in the world, no one puts their name on this list, but who in the world is making this list, watching basketball, how last season played out, and thinking, yeah, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, They had better seasons
better
than
than
Jalen Brunson.
Brunson, yeah.
They're getting younger. They're in the prime of their careers.
It's a good call. Steph Curry at 7.
I love Steph. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that.
Anthony Edwards at 6.
Sure.
Victor.
Yeah, that's another problem.
What?
Victor Wembanyama.
Wemby at 5.
I love him. He's an unbelievable talent. He'll be the MVP of the league eventually.
Sure.
What has he done at this point to warrant being ahead of Steph, Jalen Brunson, Anthony Edwards, any of these guys? Even before he got the blood clot last year, the Spurs were not going to make the playoffs. Like, he's awesome. He's going to win Defensive Player of the Year if he plays enough games. He's still not he hasn't proved that he's a top 5 player in the league at this point.
Giannis at 4, Luka at 3, Shea at 2, Joker at 1. I think I'd put Shea at 1.
Oh, no.
I would.
No.
You won the championship.
No, I don't care.
Won the championship.
Jokic is the best player by a mile.
I
agree with that top 4.
I'd put SGA at 1, Joker at 2. So, and it would be as close as possible. The only reason why I'm giving it to him is because he led his team to the championship.
Yeah, but that was an unbelievably good team in surrounding parts. Jokic actually took that team to 7 games. It was just
with
Jokic.
you. Yeah, you're
Jokic
right.
was the only
You're
guy.
right. You're
he was
right.
doing with Michael Nelson Porter.
You're right.
And Jamal Murray.
Another
who
guy
barely
with the
showed up.
podcast.
Yeah, Michael Nelson Porter. That's what I call him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't get that. Nice work. Yeah, look, you're probably right. Put Joker at 1, but I just would give him the tip of the cap because he won the championship. Regardless, 1, 2, no issues there. Luka at 3. Luka, especially if he's going to thin down and he's going to be that type of guy that the Lakers expect him to be. Sure. Giannis, always keep him high. He's a stud. I'm with you on Wemby. Wemby's getting a little bit too much love here. He's got to show us a little something more this year. And you have to back him up. He needs to be a top 5. Steph, you can make the case that he's top 5. LeBron, no. KD, no. Jalen Brunson needs to be higher. You're right. I would agree with you on that as well.
Absolutely. For all the reasons I just stated, I'm trying to look at who's 11 and 12 because I would venture to say those guys should probably be. Oh, yeah. Jalen Williams is way too high on this list, too.
Jalen Williams, yeah.
Yeah. Donovan Mitchell's below Jalen Williams. If Jalen Williams had to play the role Donovan Mitchell did as the 1A guy on a team, the Cavs wouldn't have been near as successful.
NBA conversation.
Wow, I'm fired up.
NBA holes.
October 21st. Get me talking about the NBA and something different happens.
Could we name the podcast that? Could we do a podcast?
Let's do it.
NBA holes?
Let's do it.
That's a good name. I like that. I think that's got a little bit of a ring to it. All right, Daily Ticket rolling on here. Sam Oshtry hanging out. We got you till 5 o'clock. Coming up at 5 o'clock, we're getting into the Ryder Cup with our folks over at Swingin' and Ding It, Moose, Mays, and Moose, Harry Mays, and Danielle Matthews. That's coming up at 5 o'clock. Swingin' and Ding It. Of course, you can catch it wherever you get your podcast at. Check us out at foxphlgambler.com. All things Ryder Cup coming your way. Big day tomorrow. Looking forward to catching all of that action. We'll have Ryan Ogle, who's a local a gentleman in the game of golf here locally. He'll be joining me to start the show tomorrow live from Bethpage. Julian Edlow will be on the show tomorrow as well, give a preview and all things for the weekend. And that's what we're going to do on the other side. Let's get over to some college football. I want to talk about Oregon. I want to talk about Penn State. I want to talk about the college card, where I do believe there's a couple of games that have my attention, some good spots. If I can, as far as trends and look aheads and all of that. So we'll go over a college football card tomorrow or for Saturday on the other side. It's the Daily Ticket. Sam Oshtry. I'm Sean Brace. More after this.
We don't just watch college football. We live it. How did he stay on balance there? Look at him go. Scataboo. Join us for the stories, the scores, and the Saturday matchup. It's The Gambler.
Hey, Sean Brace here, and guess what? The cash contest is back. Starting next Monday, listen up for the keyword at the top of every hour, 9 times a day, and all you have to do is go to our website, and you could enter to win $1,000. That's it. The cash contest is back, happening again for the next 8 weeks right here on The Gambler. 9 times a day, top of the hour, keyword, enter to win $1,000. Who hooks you up more than The Gambler? Nobody.
Looking for sun protection that actually works and feels great? Wear SPF by PGA Pro Justin Thomas has you covered, both on and off the course. Dermatologist tested and sweat resistant. It's broad spectrum SPF that won't mess up your swing or your skin. From the first tee to everyday life, Wear SPF is a high-performance skincare collection that helps you protect yourself like the pros. It's par for the course. Shop now at wearspf.com and stay sun safe all year long. That's wearspf.com.
Football season is back, yes, but off the field, life can hit even harder at times. Car wreck, slip and fall, work injuries, yeah, they all happen. Don't sit on the sideline after being injured, though. Only one person to call. Call attorney Big Al, 1-800-HURT-123. Big Al gets the job done, and he picks up 24/7. Big Al brings the heat both on and off the field, and he wins. That's the most important part. One more time, 1-800-HURT-123. Call Big Al today.
CEOs you should know, brought to you by Comcast Business.
Tony O'Donovan, President and CEO of Arcaini Inc. Well, Arcaini is a specialty materials company. Our purpose is to bring sustainable solutions to the world, which really means that we're bringing a lot of materials to companies that impact people's lives. You see them in a lot of products that you touch day to day. We have composites that can be completely recycled. Probably our biggest aspect is providing durability for materials that our customers can use. So whether it's a 3D printed machine part that can be used and that's stronger than steel used in aerospace, we see ourselves very much as part of the community. For instance, our partnership with Habitat for Humanity brings the ability to be part of the community, support Philadelphia. Our employees really enjoy volunteering and seeing the impact they bring to people's lives, particularly around areas of education. Plus, one of our areas that we are in the market of is sport. So that brings about our association with the Philadelphia Union Foundation. If I look at Philadelphia compared to other places that I've lived, we have really good people that are very well internationally connected, highly educated, and a good sense of community, and really tie into some of the values that Arcaini likes to portray around solidarity, inclusion, performance. Those are values we want to have, and the people fit really well. So we find that people that join Arcaini from the Philadelphia region are really successful with us.
To find out more, go to Arcaini.com. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That fun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Your local Staples has hot deals and super low prices throughout the store on everything for your business. And right now at Staples, save up to $125 off your print order. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details. Ends 11/1. Plus, save even more with the Easy Rewards program at Staples.
Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook.
Week number 4 of the NFL season kicks tonight. It'll be an NFC West clash between the Seattle Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals. It's in Arizona. The Eagles, they'll arrive in Tampa a day early for Sunday's game against the Buccaneers, so players can get acclimated to the heat and the humidity. And after hitting a franchise record 8 homers to clinch a first-round playoff bye, Phillies look to clinch a series win over Miami tonight. I'm Scott Davidson.
The NFL season is rolling. Score big with DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. New customers, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code SPORTS to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. That's code SPORTS, only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Pennsylvania only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms or responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler. Now, total traffic for Philadelphia.
Jen on the Schuylkill, westbound University Teacher Boulevard to Belmont, eastbound Montgomery Drive to south, 95 northbound, stop and go Vine Expressway past the Betsy Ross, southbound Jen at Woodhaven, then Cotton to the Betsy Ross. Totella, total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. The slow roasted cantina chicken menu is here to stay with ingredients like purple cabbage and freshly prepared pico de gallo. Try it today at a participating U.S. Taco Bell location while supplies last. Contact store for participation, which varies.
Time now for your Thursday BetMGM Baseball Buzz. The Cleveland Guardians now 1 game up in the AL Central with 4 to play. National League wild card race for the third and final spot. Mets, Reds, and Diamondbacks all within a game. The Toronto Blue Jays can clinch the AL East today. The Boston Red Sox, they can clinch a playoff berth with a victory today as well. Step up to the plate with BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. Bet on any MLB game to activate an odds boost token. If your boosted bet hits, you'll score a bigger payout. No opt-in is required. MLB trademarks used with permission. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for full terms. 21 plus. This U.S. promo offer is not available in Mississippi, New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, call 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards vary and expire in 1 to 7 days. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. That's your Thursday BetMGM Baseball Buzz.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Behold the Colonel's giant KFC chicken sandwich, a towering, extra crispy monument to flavor. Such a huge amount of juicy, hand-breaded KFC chicken at a pretty tiny $3.99 price. For the Colonel's KFC chicken sandwich. I mean, $3.99 isn't even worthy of the same epic soundtrack as the KFC chicken sandwich for only $3.99. The Colonel lived so we could chicken.
Prices and participation vary while supplies last. Taxes, tips, and fees extra.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind, to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my 2 sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-885-2929. That's 800-885-2929. 800-885-2929.
Number 1 on your car radio preset and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. WDAS and WD273D Philadelphia is Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler.
Oh, I love it. You never know who's listening, Sam Oshtry. We are live, Daily Ticket with you here on a Thursday. Please join us. I'm live Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 p.m., joined by a lot of great guests throughout the course of the week, and, of course, featuring Sean Bernard on Tuesdays, Sam Oshtry on Thursdays, and I guess you could plug Luke in there on Mondays. Yeah, Luke has been my Monday guest, throughout the course of this baseball season, and we're not going to stop until we crown a champion in the World Series. And Luke obviously is a diehard football fan as well. So Luke is locked in on Mondays, but please, listening to us on the iHeartRadio app, always a pleasure. The Seattle kid checking in. He says, I feel your pain. I once did an overnighter for public urination charge in downtown Harrisburg. I, however, was guilty. No. And he said, well said on Cal. Imms fans have been feuding with ownership for years. Cal's season has changed everything. His impact is unmatched. Totally agree, man. I don't even know about all that stuff behind the scenes from the ownership and stuff. I think I remember it, but they were aggressive at the trade deadline, of course, going out there and making a number of moves. But this season has completely revolved around Cal Raleigh. And as just a sports fan, it's just been so much fun to watch. I grew up playing catcher. I have so much respect for guys that catch. You look at JT Realmuto and the stuff he has to deal with, from foul balls, foul tips, getting hit, bats, just dealing with umpires, pitching rotation on a daily basis. When you watch the Phillies JT sticks out. And for my money, he was the first half MVP when I was trying to find somebody out of the box other than Schwarber or Zach Wheeler for pitching. I thought JT deserved a little bit more credit than he was getting. And it really does come through, or it really does come from that position that he plays and how physical it just, you have to be so tough to be a Major League Baseball catcher, period, end of story. And now to see Cal Raleigh, who, oh, by the way, they know he's dialed in. These pitchers know that they can't leave it up there. He's going to knock it out of the yard. The ball is a beach ball right now for him, and it's been all season long, and he continues to hit home runs. I think that's double digits that he's hit 2 home runs in a game this year. He's fantastic. He is your AL MVP.
Absolutely, and I think he should be, but like we talked about earlier, I don't necessarily think he will be.
Oh, you don't think he will be?
Based on how I've heard the voters talk, the ones who have discussed it recently.
You should get a piece of that plus 180 right now then.
Yeah, you're probably right. I should take that. It just seems like it's going to be hard for them because of all these other advanced analytics to ignore Judge's impact and they're going to ignore the home run output, which is historic from Cal Raleigh. So I'm not 100% convinced. I think it's such a toss-up where I don't know if I want to get in the market just now.
They're both deserving.
But yeah, absolutely. They're both deserving. Just like in the NL. Kyle Schwarber and Shohei Ohtani are both deserving too.
I'm trying to I do already have a piece on Kyle Schwarber that I placed way back, but I don't have plus 1,900. I just think that's donating. But throw some pizza money on it. Why not?
Yeah.
You got a little piece of the action. Maybe Schwarber breaks the Phillies record for all time. He just needs 2 more. Maybe the Phillies, well, they've wrapped everything up. They're not getting the overall.
Another conversation if Schwarber should even play. I think he should.
He's a DH.
Yeah, he's a DH. The risk of him getting injured is so slim.
Walk up, hit the ball. Wood. Yeah, and go.
Yeah.
I've had enough of these guys sitting when they're chasing incredible moments.
Well, Saquon made sense. That's not even
I know
comparison. Saquon made sense. Football and baseball a little different.
Yeah, a little bit different. Especially
the risk of injury, especially for a DH.
Like, don't even. I guarantee there's people on that other radio station saying he shouldn't.
Oh, you didn't see?
No.
You didn't see this tweet that went viral?
What is it? ESP?
Bingo.
What an idiot!
Bingo.
People should. He
compared it exact. I know, of course. He's the best rage baiter in the business. And I give him credit for
there you go.
He's
made
the
a living
best
out of
rage
it.
baiter in the business. He says the most ridiculous things and it gets so much attention and attraction. And he knows what he's doing. He's not an idiot, obviously. But yeah, he compared it to the Saquon
life
situation.
is like when you don't care what people think about you and like you put out dumb stuff and like you don't.
I respect it.
I don't look at him for an ounce of an opinion on any sport, like whatsoever.
Yeah.
Zero. Like I don't give a damn what he says. He can give me his best X's and O breakdown on whatever sport he wants, and I'd be like, dude, I don't give a damn what you gotta say. And that's the issue when you don't care about your reputation. It's the same thing with like Skip Bayless. Like Skip, please stop talking about Skip Bayless. He's in the podcast stratosphere too with Gilbert Arenas and like awful announcing is putting him out there. I'm like, really, you guys really care about Skip Bayless?
Yeah, well, he's a pioneer in the industry.
Who, Skip?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, he's the reason why ESP is doing what he does.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pioneer that maybe it's went in a negative, bad direction, but he still definitely changed the industry for better or worse.
Yeah, for worse.
Yeah, which a lot of people would say for worse.
Absolutely. What has he done positive? Skip Bayless.
I mean, it depends how you view the sports media stratosphere now. He's the reason why it became hot takey, debate focused. That's all him. So a lot of people like that and think it's entertainment. A lot of people hate it. So it depends how you view it.
I could at least look at Stephen A and give him some cred, but I can't do it.
It was Skip before Stephen A.
I can't do any positive Skip. I can't.
Yeah, because I believe Stephen A. Like obviously he's yelling and he's over dramatic, but he's a brilliant entertainer. But I think he believes what he's actually saying.
Yes.
Skip I don't think ever believed most of the stuff he was saying. He knew exactly what he was doing.
Yeah, exactly. All right, enough of those two. Put them both in the bathroom together. All right, let's keep it moving here. We have some college football to get into, and none bigger than the Oregon and Penn State game. We have circled this day on the calendar for about 3 months now. We've been talking about the Saturday, the 27th of September. and it's here. And now we need to, for most of us, need to come up with our wager on whether or not we're going to take some action in this game. And just going over the numbers right now, and it hasn't moved, but 3.5, 52.5 is your number. Penn State is favored. Everything that could be said has been said about James Franklin. He doesn't win these games. He comes up small. I think there's more of a sample size for James Franklin than there is Dan Lanning, but Dan Lanning has come up small in some top 10 matchups too as well. So I don't really even put stock into those trends at this point in time, because we know what Penn State is capable of. We know what they did last year, what they have been building, the horses that they have in that stable. And we also know what Oregon is capable of and what they're known for: fast, flashy, in your face, and a damn good team that has yet to be tested. And the same thing can be said about Penn State. So here they are. They meet on Saturday. It's the whiteout at Happy Valley. We were just there. 106,000 plus, going to go absolutely nuts. And at 7:30 at night. So the atmosphere, everything is.
Here's the problem. I don't think you fully appreciate the atmosphere because you had such a miserable time in that stadium.
It was brutal.
You had such an awful time walking into that stadium. You couldn't even last more than 2 drives. You left.
Yeah, see ya. That was the worst game
so
day
you don't
experience.
Appreciate Beaver Stadium.
I did think what it would be like to be here for a whiteout. That stadium's huge.
It's
so
huge.
I appreciate it.
I've been to a whiteout. I'm telling you right now, it is the greatest football atmosphere in the entire world.
Game day is going to be there.
They are going to be there. I've been to the NFC Championship in 2017 against the Vikings.
I was there
That's
too.
number 2. I've been all these places across the country. Football, college football stadiums, NFL stadiums. The whiteout at Beaver Stadium is the greatest football atmosphere ever. Hands down, the place is shaking. There's nothing that comes close to it. It's that special. So I think we need to give the atmosphere its proper recognition when we're talking about this game before we even talk about the football. But you just hate Beaver Stadium so much. I don't know if you're capable of that.
No, I'm fine.
No, you hate it.
I promise you, I could get there, because I swear to you, as I was looking around, first of all, the thing that jumped out at me the most was like, this stadium is massive.
Huge.
And that's the first thing that went through my mind was like, oh, yeah, I would imagine that's going to be a home field advantage for a whiteout. And look, they've won big games there, and they've won for whiteouts. And I'm not here to say that they're not going to win. For my money right here, right now, Sam, I just think that offensively Penn State is challenged, and a lot has to do with that offensive line. And if you look at one of the strengths for Oregon, their defensive line. And I think we're getting a prime spot as far as total is concerned, a 52.5, a prime number for us, where that is immediately what I want to get into handicapping. I think I can make the case for Oregon going in there. I can make the case for Penn State winning this home game. They should win. They should win this game. They set up everything for this spot. They are at home. They've had a cupcake 3-game schedule to get to this point. They have not looked good in any of those games, but here we are. I just feel like the total, I think this is going to be a little bit tighter of a game, a little bit slower of a game, a little bit more of a grind to move the football. I don't think Oregon is going to be able to explode and score 30 plus points. I think we're looking at a tight ball game, and I think under 52.5. I know that's the play I'm making. That's what I think everybody should be on. If you want to sit here and say, I think this is the game that Penn State's going to win, they set everything up, I'm not here to argue that. I just think it's a tough spot to go 3.5 each way when we don't really know what each team is possessing at this point in time. There's a chance that, look, I think Oregon, I love Dan Lanning. There is a chance that Oregon gets blanked because Penn State's defense is that good.
Penn State's defense is that good. The problem with Penn State right now is we don't even know what this team really is.
Correct.
Because they've played Villanova, FIU, and Nevada.
Yep.
So when you look at that
and haven't looked good against either of those teams.
They're also not showing all their stuff against, because they don't need to put everything on tape. So their season really starts in week 5.
Okay.
They're coming off a bye here after playing Villanova and winning by 40 plus. So we don't really know what this Penn State team is yet, but we know how talented they are. We know they have NFL guys on the defensive side. We know their running back duo is the best in the country with Katron Allen and Nick Singleton. Drew Aller's a Heisman-level quarterback, but I'm with you on the under because I don't necessarily trust Drew Aller. He's shown up in big moments. Last year, he kind of proved that, but he's not the most accurate quarterback. If he's under duress with a weak offensive line relative to Oregon's defensive front, if he's under duress, he could have some wobbly throws, some interceptions. He's not a particularly accurate quarterback. And then you go to the Oregon side, and it's like their offense has been amazing, but they also haven't played the best competition.
Montana State, Oklahoma State, Northwestern, and Oregon State.
Exactly.
And they beat up all of them.
And there's some power conference teams in there at least.
Yeah.
And they've killed them, but like Oklahoma State just fired their coach in Mike Gundy. So these aren't exactly some great competition and marquee programs. So we don't really know what either of these teams are. It's a great test for each of them. I just think Penn State's running backs, that duo of Kaytron Allen, Nick Singleton, is going to be the advantage. And I like the under because I think they can establish the run, take long drives, relying on the run game, and just run it down Oregon's throat. And they're going to have success doing that, building up long drives, putting in the end zone in those drives. And the home field advantage is going to be too much for Oregon's offense and Dante Moore. I think Penn State is winning this game. The 3.5 is tough, but like you said, I could see Penn State kind of running away with it.
If you made me make a selection right now, I'm having a hard time taking Oregon. But there have been times that I go, I'm having a hard time taking Penn State in this game either. I do feel like, first of all, to bring it back to, I read an article last night that said that had unbelievable praise for the offensive line plus for Penn State. They were saying 7 players have potential on the offensive line to play
Penn State's
on NFL Sundays.
Well, they've struggled.
And they haven't looked the part this season. That's my point.
Yeah.
And now you have a defensive line in Oregon that actually has some big dogs. I think Oregon is going to have some success on defense. And what is showing you on Penn State's offense that, this is the game that Drew Aller is going to put it together. He hasn't been good. Look at his numbers. They haven't been good.
But yeah, it's like nothing that we've seen from Penn State really matters to me so far this season.
Okay.
They haven't put everything on tape. That's why we don't know what this team is. We can only really go what Drew Aller was.
But
let me
just say this.
Offense was last season, but of course Tyler Warren's not there.
So this is the game. My point is, this is the game that they all put it together.
Oh, 100%. It's a huge game.
No. You do think that?
Yeah.
I think that's asking a lot. I think with the hype, the buildup. Oh, by the way, Oregon is a good football team.
Of course, but being at home helps with that for sure. I mean, look, James Franklin is 4-20 in his Penn State career against top 10 opponents. I believe that number is 1-15 against top 5 opponents. Luckily, Oregon's number 16.
Is that playing into your handicap at all?
It doesn't.
It doesn't for me
because Penn State's won big whiteout games before.
Yeah,
they've lost some whiteouts for sure. It's not like they're undefeated in whiteouts and have some unbelievable track record, but they've won. They have a pretty good record at home for these whiteout games. And this also isn't some like season-defining win. If Penn State and James Franklin win this game, it's not like, oh, the monkey's off. Franklin's back. You can't call him Big Game James anymore. He finally won a big game. That's not the case at all. They're still going to have to go to Ohio State on the road.
Correct.
And if they win this, they'll definitely be in the Big Ten championship. And, of course, the college football playoff. Those are games that are going to define James Franklin's season and whether he can get that monkey off his back. Not this game. This isn't some, like, huge spot where it's, like, huge spot for James Franklin at least. I mean, they better win it. They better at least win it. But it's not some huge spot.
Oh, by the way, don't sleep on Indiana.
Yeah, I was shocked last week at that.
Don't sleep on Indiana. That team, that victory, and I know the snowball gained momentum, and that was all they needed at home.
Fernando Mendoza is the favorite for the Heisman.
He is an absolute stud.
He's way better than Curtis O'Rourke. I didn't think that was the case at all.
Stud. He was slinging it in that game. So I again, to the part about big game James and struggling against teams, and you brought up the numbers. Last year wiped the slate clean for me on a lot of that. Like, it's just, again, I'm not a guy that gets deep into the analytics and the numbers, and like maybe I should look a little bit more. I trust my eyes with a lot of this stuff. And Penn State was a damn good football team last year. They were a really, really good football team. James Franklin's a hell of a recruiter, and he continues to put the pieces together. I read an article at The Athletic about the NIL. They're doing an unbelievable job. How many people are invested in trying to make Penn State athletics, of course, football leading the charge. Really good job up there at Penn State, and they need to be on that level to compete to win a national championship in 2025. It's just that easy to understand how important NIL is. They have a lot going in their favor. They were able to get Drew Aller back. They were able to get
they just left Nike too, went to Adidas.
I would imagine that was going to be a pretty big number. Exactly. Guys are sticking around because the money is good there. So Tyler Warren is another guy that they were talking about could have potentially went and didn't transfer, came back for that final season, of course, upped his draft top 15 selection this past year. All I know is when it comes to this game on Saturday night, I feel like with the expectations, with the focus, game day being there, I'm having a hard time believing that everybody is going to put an A+ game out there, all systems running smooth as a playoff game, even though this does have playoff implications, and this is going to be a 40-37 ball game or a 35-30 ball game. I think that this is going to be a little bit tighter a score. I think teams are going to struggle. We're going to see some punts, and I think it's going to stay under the total of 52.5. That's my handicap on the game. If you feel different and passionate about it, love to hear from you. Get involved in the conversation at Fox PHO Gambler, at Fox PHO Gambler. It is the biggest game on the card. The biggest game in the card.
Yeah.
Put Auburn or put Alabama and Georgia to the side.
Alabama was undefeated, maybe.
This is the game.
100%. And it's a shame they're both kicking off at 7:30 because Penn State gets the main screen for sure.
Little whack. Sure. Come on, man.
So that means the two best games of the day, same kickoff time.
I do want to say this, though, since I'm a little fired up here. Way too much bitching and complaining about kickoff times from coaches across college football. Enough.
Well.
Wait, no.
Well, here's the thing. So like a lot of Big Ten coaches are complaining about it with the big noon kickoffs. Like Ohio State gets big noon kickoff all the time because they're always there. All those Big Ten coaches, not the coach necessarily, but their athletic directors and the presidents all signed off on this deal.
Correct.
They all signed off on this deal.
Yes.
We're getting paid a ton of money from Fox in this media deal.
Stop crying about kickoff times.
So they don't have the right to cry about it because they were part of it. I will say these games are better at night. The students, for the players, for the coaching staff, for the whole atmosphere, for the viewers at home. Imagine if this Penn State Oregon game was a noon kickoff. That would be disastrous. This is made to be. A whiteout should never be during that. I went to a whiteout, and I think it was a 3:30 kickoff I went to. Whiteout should never be 3:30 kicks. They should always be 7:30 kicks under the lights. And Penn, they got it right for this one, but there's some times where whiteouts aren't night games. They should always be night games, and they're just really they have to adhere to whatever Fox wants because they create the schedule. So I get the complaining because they're valid complaints, but you are the ones who agreed to this at the same time.
Correct. They're in the money. They know what they're getting. And a big reason is because of television. Lane Kiffin, he was complaining.
Did you watch the documentary last night?
Did not.
Neither did I.
Oh, it's funny how that worked hand in hand. And I'm a Lane guy to a point.
With his daughter.
Yeah, his daughter.
That was the biggest publicity stunt ever. People were talking about that like it wasn't some publicity stunt.
Could it be just about football, please, Lane? Could we just keep it about football? No, but that's part of his MO, whatever. He's complaining because he's like, oh, well, when we go to LSU, it's at night. But when they come here, it's in the daytime. And it's like Georgia, the same thing. Like you got
Lincoln Riley.
Was complaining too. It's like, dude, you're at USC. You play in the Big Ten. What do you expect?
Yeah.
Like this is what you have to deal with now. And look, I get it. These guys are asked questions at times and they're answering them there honestly, but way too much complaining about kickoff times. What happened to the good old days where it's like, dude, just give me a helmet, shoulder pads, flip the coin, and let's go ball. Well, let's
guys
go ball.
Now. It's not just
now we got
ball.
Guys doing podcasts.
It's not just about ball anymore.
Now we got Kyle Lowry being an analyst and a Sixers player, and these coaches complaining about kickoff times. Way too much complaining, Sam Oshtry. All right. Anything else you would like to say about Oregon and Penn State? Is there anything on your mind?
I don't think so. I think it's going to be an awesome game.
I hope.
I do. There is a scenario I see where Penn State kind of getting away from it late in the third quarter.
Really?
And
I'm on the other
side. A 10, 14-point
I
lead.
see Drew Aller struggling. I see Oregon's defense making life difficult.
But I think their run game is going to have so much success, it might not matter. I think they're going to limit Drew Aller, not make him a high-volume passer, and let that run game cook because they have the two best running backs.
They should.
They have the best running back duo in the country. So I think that'll be the plan. And I think they're going to have some success doing it where they just wear Oregon's defense down. And then you can start letting Drew Aller maybe air it out a little more in that third quarter into the fourth.
Yeah, I think, like I said, you look at his numbers. He has not been good at all.
He's played awful teams.
You are definitely giving him a little bit more benefit of the doubt.
I don't think he's like people. I don't think he's going to be a good NFL player because he's not accurate. But I do think I saw him grow up last year as a college quarterback where he made really clutch plays, some game-winning drives. I look at that USC game on the road where they were trailing last year all the time.
It was a big win.
Where I trust him in a way I didn't early on in his career. Not as an NFL quarterback, but he's a college quarterback that can win you big games now.
Well, again, they did go on a run last year, and when he needed to make a couple big plays against Notre Dame, he did turn the football over. Again, that was in a high spot with a lot of attention, and could potentially be the case how it plays out on Saturday. We'll see as far as that game is concerned. But I love the under 52.5. That is my official play on Saturday. Let's hit on some other games here as far as top 25. And I want to get your vibes on some of these spots. And then we'll go to, of course, the Georgia and Alabama game. And right now you're looking at Georgia 3.5, Alabama 2-1, Georgia 3-0 after that comeback victory over Tennessee. Very lucky to do so. Game being played between the hedges down there in Athens, Georgia. You know, there is a case to be made for Alabama. Ty Simpson's playing really well. He's probably one of the better quarterbacks in the game right now. If you look at the numbers, and they have an unbelievable wide receiver core. We know what Alabama is capable of. Georgia just still has that vibe that they are a national championship contender. And I know that this is a game that they very well could lose. But if I was to make a wager here, I would look at Georgia. I would take Georgia -3, -3.5, and roll with them dogs, because Kirby's a hell of a coach. I'll give them the advantage. They're at home. I'm talking out both sides of my mouth, but I'm not playing this. How surprised would you be if Alabama did win this game?
Not that surprised.
That's my point.
I mean, Georgia's lost 6 of the last 7 meetings. And you can say most of those were against Nick Saban, sure, but last year it was Kellen DeBoer, and Kirby Smart still fell against him. This is a really tough spot because I don't know what to make of this Alabama team. When you look at that first loss, when everyone was writing them off and Kellen DeBoer was immediately on the hot seat after losing to Florida State, we didn't realize Florida State was going to be a top 10 team in the country, which they've become now. And Florida State's good.
Which is wild.
Florida State's good. That was also Ty Simpson's first career start, and it was on the road at Florida State. So that was a really tough spot for him and Alabama in general. And Alabama's looked good since then. Ty Simpson's looked good since then. The only real team they played is Wisconsin. I don't even know if you can call that a real team. Shout out Maryland. That was the play of the week last week. +10. I told you on this program 1 week ago.
I took it.
+10 they were against an awful Wisconsin team, and they came in there, won outright. Maryland now 4-0. Malik Washington should be in the Heisman conversation. That's a conversation for another day. Wisconsin's awful. So, what are we supposed to make of this Alabama team that they dominated Wisconsin? So I don't know exactly what to make of them. We're going to find out a lot against Georgia. Here's what I do know. Gunnar Stockton has played well.
Yes.
He's played well, but as flashes as a passer, I still don't trust him. And Alabama's defense allows the 3rd fewest passing yards in the country. I don't think they're going to have success in the way that Gunnar Stockton has throughout this season, especially against Tennessee. This Georgia defense doesn't look like a typical Kirby Smart Georgia defense. I mean, they won that Tennessee game. They also gave up 41 points to Tennessee and did go to overtime. Sure, it still wasn't a good defensive performance from Georgia. I don't know what to make of either of these teams right now. So when you're going to give me +3.5 in a game between two rivals, SEC rivals, that always seems like it comes down to the final couple drives.
Last year's game was crazy.
I'd rather take the 3.5.
Yeah, last year's game was crazy when you think about that. They were up by 28 and they ended up blowing it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's one of those games that you would say would mean a little bit more if it wasn't for the big college expanded playoff system. But, you know, you don't want to lose this game for either way.
Well, Alabama's done if they're out.
Definitely means more for Alabama.
Yeah,
You're
if
right
they lose,
about
they're
that.
out.
You're right about that. All right, another game on the top 25 card that I would love to break down with you here. And this is another interesting one from the SEC, LSU and Ole Miss. As I said, Lane Kiffin was yelling about the fact that it's a 3:30 kickoff. I mean, come on, dude. You're on ABC, nationally televised game. You're at home. But what, you want it at night? Like, I guess. I don't know. LSU and Ole Miss. Right now, DraftKings Sportsbook showing Ole Miss is a 1.5 favorite. What do we know about Ole Miss? Let me ask you that. Where are you at when it comes to this one?
I'm leaning Ole Miss. It feels like such a toss-up. And I love LSU this year. I think their transfer class has proven to be great.
Oh, yeah. You think?
Yeah. I mean, it was the #1 class, but a lot of times.
Did you see that list, that top 10 list with all the transfers? They're all undefeated.
Yep. Unbelievable. Here's what I'll say, though. This feels like you just take the home team in this SEC matchup. It's going to be a massive home field advantage. Obviously, it's a toss-up when the line's 1.5. LSU only averages 3.9 yards per carry. That's the 83rd best mark in the country. They can't run the football. They rely too much on Garrett Nussmeier's arm. And look, he has a really strong arm. If it's a 3rd and long, I trust him more than most other college quarterbacks. sometimes his accuracy is all over the place. He also makes some really dumb decisions.
He threw that one interception against Florida.
Yeah, really like almost a costly interception when doing exactly what you're taught not to do when you're rolling out and throwing across your body. So he just makes some stupid decisions, which is kind of surprising because he's supposed to be this really smart quarterback, son of a football coach. So, but they can't run the football, and if you're relying too much on Garrett Nussmeier's arm on the road against a pretty good Ole Miss defense, better than it's given credit for, I'm just not going to trust LSU if they can't establish a running game, and they've proven they can't. And look, I don't even know what Ole Miss is going to do at quarterback right now. Like Trinidad Chambliss, I believe is how you pronounce his name. Okay. He's better than Austin Simmons.
That's crazy.
He's played 2 power conference opponents, and both in those games, he's had a passer rating of 180. Like that's pretty incredible. And I think Lane Kiffin might trust him more than Austin Simmons, but Austin Simmons is still good when he's healthy. So maybe we have a 2 quarterback situation. Whatever they do, I think they're going to have success against LSU's average passing defense. And I think this is a good spot for Ole Miss.
All right. Yeah, it's definitely a game that will have our attention at 3:30 kickoff. Once again, a lot of great college football coming our way. You got Tennessee and Mississippi State. That game's going off at 4:15. Tennessee, a 7.5-point favorite. Mississippi State's undefeated.
They are.
7.5.
Big win over Arizona State.
Yeah, that's a big ask for Tennessee going in there. There's a couple dogs that have my attention, including Auburn as well. Auburn catching 6.5 against Texas A&M. I would love to catch 7, but
Auburn with just a brutal non-cover last week.
It was insane. I had the 6.5.
I don't think I can ever bet Auburn ever again.
I had the 6.5, and I was just so unfortunate. Indiana and Iowa now up to 8.5. I think we're overvaluing Indiana at this spot right here, and I think that this is a possible spot that you should take Iowa catching the 8.5. But at the same time, wouldn't surprise me if Indiana absolutely rolls them. Man, they were a juggernaut last week. Vandy. The expectations are through the roof right now for Vandy. They're 22.5-point favorites. I'm not saying much about Utah State, but this could be a potential letdown spot for them here at a 12 o'clock kickoff. I just feel like that, way too many. This weekend, this Saturday in college football, there are a couple spots that I think we have some letdown spots. And
I'm eyeing one for sure.
Which one do you got?
Actually, I wouldn't say letdown spot.
What do you got?
There's 2. I'm eyeing a bounce back and a letdown.
All right. Give me the letdown.
Here's my favorite letdown.
All right.
Duke -5.5 against Syracuse. This is the ultimate letdown spot for Syracuse. Huge win.
Monster win.
Huge win against Clemson. But that win says way more about Clemson than it does Syracuse. I mean, this Clemson team almost lost to Troy. And obviously they lost to Georgia Tech. This Clemson team just in the dumpster fire.
16.5-point favorites.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa.
So Duke is a pretty good team. Like Duke is better than
Duke had an impressive victory over NC State.
They did. Impressive victory over NC State. They compete against Tulane the week before. Yeah, Illinois beat them, and Illinois just got beat by Indiana. But whatever. Like this just feels like a letdown spot for Syracuse going back home after a huge win. So Duke -5.5 is the biggest letdown spot for me.
All right. And then your bounce back?
Bounce back is Illinois. +6.5 at home against USC. I don't know what we watched last week with Indiana.
That's such a crazy number.
At home.
Last week, it was 1.5.
And I liked Illinois last week, and I just was down on this Indiana team.
I'm saying the look-ahead line last week for this game was 1.5. They were catching 1.5, and now they're catching that many.
It's just a massive overreaction.
I agree.
Indiana is that good. It says more about Indiana than it does Illinois, that 63-10 beating. And look, it was just an uncharacteristic performance from Illinois where they couldn't stop a nosebleed defensively. They never established the run. It was just a bad game for Illinois, and it's 63-10. That's not indicative of how far those teams are apart in terms of talent. And Luke Altmaier struggled, but he is way better at home than he is on the road. And those, you can look at all those numbers, all those statistics throughout his career at Illinois. He's been way better at home than on the road. So I like Illinois going back home, and I think they cover that +6.5 against a USC team where you already get the excuses from Lincoln Riley.
Yeah,
he's already complaining where they had to play the last game of the slate last Saturday, and now they're playing the first game of the slate and traveling east. We know a lot of these West Coast Big Ten teams traveling east doesn't work out well for them. All signs are pointing to Illinois.
I agree with that, man. That's a good play by right there. It's something that I probably will have locked in coming in on Saturday. All right, college football rolling on here. Once again, we got ourselves a game tonight. ECU 4-point favorites against Army 52.5. They were throwing nuggets at each other over there. I don't even know what the hell I was watching, but still, they're fired up down there in Greenville. Dowdy Ficklin Stadium's going to be rocking Sam Oshtry on a Thursday night. But watch out for Army. That's a tough team. So I don't know if I really am backing the Pirates here. I do expect them to show a little bit more fight than they did last week against BYU. With that being said, we do have a Thursday night football game in the NFL. We'll talk some pros on the other side. He's Sam Oshtry from The Score. I'm Sean Brace. Don't touch that dial, though, because coming up at 5 o'clock, all things swinging and dinging. Yeah, Moose Mays and Danielle coming your way at 5 p.m. Talk a little Ryder Cup and all things Philly golf. It's Daily Take more after this.
From Tuscaloosa to the Big House, Saturdays start here.
Howard flips it. Smith's got it, and the freshman just waltzes in as the Buckeyes score.
Your home for all things college football coverage. It's The Gambler.
iHeartRadio brings you Global Citizen Festival 2025 from New York City at Central Park's Great Lawn. Live performances from Shakira, Cardi B, Tyla, Ira Starr, Mariah the Scientist, Camilo, and many more. All hosted by Hugh Jackman. Join the movement changing the world at GlobalCitizenFestival.com. Hear the entire festival live all day this Saturday on the free iHeart app's Global Citizen Radio and on Hit Nation at 10 p.m. Eastern.
Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler. Now, total traffic for Philadelphia.
Busy on 95 northbound, stop and go Vine Expressway up to approaching bridge, then Cotman to Academy. Southbound, it's Jan Cotman to the Betsy Ross and Ridley Park to the Commodore Barry. Westbound Schuylkill, Jan University to Girard, Crawling Boulevard to Belmont. Eastbound, so Blue Route to Belmont and Jan Boulevard to University. A Vine Expressway busy both ways, Schuylkill to 95. Blue Route southbound delays approaching Broomall to Media Southbound, northbound heavy 95 to Route 1. All right, to tell a total traffic.
This report is sponsored by ParkWiz.
Parking shouldn't slow you down. ParkWiz gives every driver a shortcut. Book ahead, save up to 50%, and skip the hassle of circling the block. Park smarter, park faster. ParkWiz. Download the ParkWiz app today and save every time you park.
Stay tuned to Fox PHL The Gambler for the latest CEOs you should know.
It's Tony O'Donovan, President and CEO of Arcaini Inc.
Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
South Jersey, are you ready for bone-crushing action? Super Gorillas Wrestling takes over Camden County College in Blackwood, Saturday, September 27th. 7 explosive matches featuring Ricky Starr, Rob Noxious, BJ Walker, Young Lion, Zeno, and more. Tickets just $15 for students, $25 general admission. Doors open at 6, pre-show at 7:30, then we go live. Don't miss the slams, the chaos, the excitement. Up close and personal. Saturday, September 27th, Camden County College. Super Gorillas Wrestling. Our action is infectious.
It's your Thursday Sports Minute, brought to you by BetMGM. Make it legendary. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Thursday night football tonight in Arizona. It's an NFC West showdown between the Cardinals and Seahawks. Both teams 2-1 to start the season. The line is moved. It's now at 1.5 points in favor of the Seattle Seahawks. Over under total 43.5 points. The Seattle defense, the only one in the NFL that hasn't allowed a rushing touchdown this year. Maybe they'll throw more. Quarterback Kyler Murray averaging 180 yards passing per game. His over under total passing yards tonight 215.5. New to BetMGM, sign up today using code MINUTE to receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for full terms. 21 plus to wager. New customer offer subject to eligibility requirements. Promotions vary by market. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. And that's your Thursday Sports Minute.
Morning, Zoe. Got donuts.
Jeff Bridges, why are you still living above our garage?
Well, I dig the mattress, and I want to be in a T-Mobile commercial like you. Teach me, Saldana.
Oh, no, I'm not really prepared. I couldn't possibly. At T-Mobile, get the new iPhone 17 Pro on them. It's designed to be the most powerful iPhone yet and has the ultimate pro camera system.
Wow, impressive. Let me try. T-Mobile is the best place to get iPhone 17 Pro because they've got the best network.
Nice, Jeffrey.
You heard them. T-Mobile is the best place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro on us with eligible trade-in in any condition.
So, what are we having for lunch?
Dude, My work here is done.
24 monthly bill credits on experience beyond for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits ended. Balance due if you pay off earlier. Cancel. Finance agreement. iPhone 17 Pro, 256 gigs, $1,099.99, and new line minimum $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence Data 1H2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Stop settling for weak sound. It's time to level up your game and bring the boom. Hit the town with the ultra-durable LG X Boom portable speaker and enjoy vibrant sound wherever you go. Elevate your listening experience to new heights because, let's be real, your music deserves it. The future of sound is now with LG X Boom. And for a limited time, save 25% at LG.com with code FALL25. Bring the boom. X Boom.
Hey, man, you all right? Need me to call 911? No. Call Top Dog Law. Get top dollar for your accident at topdoglaw.com. Once again, that's topdoglaw.com.
May I have your attention, please?
You're listening to The Daily Ticket with Sean Brace, Philly's first daily sports gambling show.
Let us see the dough.
On Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler. The action starts here.
Coming down the home stretch here. Once again, 5 o'clock, you'll get Swing It and Ding It. Yes, Sam Oshtry, Sean Brace with you here on The Gambler. Let's talk some pros. Oh, first of all, real quick, Ryder Cup morning matchups were just released. You said you're not a big Ryder Cup guy. That's fine. But it is fantastic television. You got to tune in and watch it.
Is it? What's so great about it?
Oh, man, we're home. We're home. Get on camera, too, if you wouldn't mind.
What's so great about
it? Well, it's the fact that the crowd gets involved.
Does it?
Oh, it's insane.
Like, is it like the one golfing event you can chirp? I don't remember ever watching.
There's a lot of you. This is crazy, and this year's even wild.
Yeah, it's
in
Long Island.
Yeah, Bethpage. A lot of history with this course, but things have changed so much from the attention of golf due to the YouTubers, due to the Netflix, due to
100%.
Everything, to the point that yesterday they had the introductions, and I mean, I could not believe this stage. It's the first time that I remember that they've had anything like this, and the amount of people that were there for it was wild just to tune in and see some of the things that were being said. A little bit of back and forth, whatever. Like, that's the beauty about the Ryder Cup. It's us versus Europe, right? Every 2 years you get the President's Cup, and then you get the Ryder Cup. They do foursomes in the morning, foursomes in the afternoon. Saturday, what do they do Saturday? I'm sorry, I forget. It was pairings. I think it's pairings. And then on Sunday, it's everybody plays each other, and it's all for a point. And I think it's 14.5 points, gets the victory, gets to win the cup.
And Europe's favored, right?
Sorry, the USA is favored. They're at home soil, yes. So they're home. They're minus 150 on DraftKings Sportsbook to raise the cup, to lift the cup. USA minus 150, Europe plus 120.
Didn't Europe win last
Correct.
year? Or
Europe,
2 years ago?
Europe is no joke.
Yeah.
I am having a hard time seeing USA win.
So why are they favored?
Because they're home.
It matters that much?
Yeah.
You can't chirp like in someo's backswing.
No, but it's everything else. Like, it is just, you're not.
Is it what's the tournament in Phoenix?
The Waste Management.
Yeah, is it like the Waste Management? That crowd is rowdy.
But it's times 10. It's because it's us versus them.
Yeah,
you know, like they're gonna hear it everywhere they step. They're USA. And I just remember what it was like. Forgive me, was it in Illinois, Whispering Straits, or Wisconsin? I forget where that track is. But of course, that's where we won it 4 years ago.
Yeah,
and like, I just remember, like, wow, like this. Yeah, that's right. Ryder Cup. Let's go. And this is, I think, even on a whole different stratosphere due to everything I just said, YouTube, all that. Now, the pairings come out, and the one is jumping off the page at me because it's got Scotty Scheffler. Like, Scotty has to go undefeated throughout the course of the weekend for them to win. I think I'm correct in that, and with that analysis, we'll see. He has Russell Henley as his partner here, taking on Oberg and Matthew Fitzpatrick. They're minus 160. They're the second biggest favorite on the board. The biggest favorite would be Rory and Tommy Fleetwood going up against Colin Morikawa and Harris English. Morikawa or McIlroy and Fleetwood minus 180. English and Morikawa plus 140. We got a lot of movement. These were just announced a little while ago. DeChambeau and Justin Thomas versus John Rahm and Hatton. Minus 120, minus 105. You can get Bryson DeChambeau and Thomas is a little bit of a slight dog there. And then finally, our fourth and final matchup here is Xander Schauffele and Patrick Cantlay versus Hovland and McIntyre. Minus 120 for Xander and Patrick Cantlay. We'll see. And then the afternoon just has, whether or not you want to stay with the hot hand. Keegan Bradley is got some tough decisions to be made as the captain. It's just a lot of fun. There's a lot of strategy that goes into it, but the biggest draw, Sam, that I would say is the fact that it's home and you got to watch it because it is going to put some serious juices through your body. That all starts tomorrow at 7:10 a.m. and then we'll lift the cup hopefully for red, white, and blue as I'm representing on Sunday afternoon. All right. With that being said, let's get on over to the NFL. Thursday Night Football will close up shop here. Seahawks, 1.5 favorite, 43.5. Cardinals at home, catching 1.5. Is the dog barking for you, Sam?
This line completely flipped, right? So it started as Seahawks plus 1.5. And now they're minus 1.5, and that tells you everything you need to know about where the money is. And I agree with the money. I think the Seahawks are the play. I think this Cardinals team is way worse than a record says at 2-1. Their offense just has not been moving the ball particularly well. A 16-15 loss against the Niners last week, and now James Conner's out. And that's the biggest thing. When James Conner's out, since he was signed by the Cardinals, they're 3-9. They don't have much of an offensive line. Their offensive line has been struggling. Now, left tackle Paris Johnson has injury concerns, and his backup also has injury concerns. So they're going to struggle to run the ball even more. And without establishing the run game, I don't trust Kyler Murray to get it going. His receivers haven't been great. Marvin Harrison has not had a lot of targets again this year. Had a big drop last week. I just don't think this Cardinals offense is capable of scoring enough against the Seahawks team that looks pretty good. So I think the Seahawks are the play.
Yeah, and that's where I'm at too mentally. I'm saying to myself that if I had to pick this game, I would bet the Seahawks. But something about the Cardinals being at home is pushing me towards them just a little bit here. But they are dealing with a ton of injuries right now. The Zay Jones has been ruled out. They're without Will Johnson. Actually, Will Johnson, cornerback for them, is dealing with a groin, so he could be gone. You just brought up Paris Johnson. They have another left guard, Evan Brown, that's questionable as well. So they're dealing with a ton of issues right now. And as you said, with James Conner losing him for the season. So maybe this is a spot that they could bounce back and rah-rah and get it going. But if you made me make a pick here, I'm probably going to have to back Seattle. They have looked good. They have some good receivers. Sam Darnold, if he doesn't turn into Sam Darnold at the end of last year, if he continues to play somewhat of what he was early last year, I think he could have a good game here. I'm not seeing a lot of points, though. And
no.
The total is 43.5, somewhat low, somewhat respectable to a point, too, as well, if you look up and down the board here.
The Seahawks are allowing the second fewest points per game at 15.7. The run defense ranks third at 3.2 yards per attempt. And this is a Cardinals team. Games. It's true, but this is also a Cardinals team that just lost James Conner. The Seahawks are also generating the fourth best quarterback pressure, despite blitzing the second lowest rate. So they're getting to the quarterback often, and they can't. So the Cardinals are not going to be able to run the ball. I do not see Kyler Murray having a particularly good game. I just don't know how the Cardinals are going to score.
Who's scoring tonight? I'm going with JSN.
Yeah, I was leaning there.
Plus 155.
But yeah, I wanted a little more juice to it.
Oh, you're getting a little greedy on it.
Yeah,
Right,
I could see the pocket collapsing with the Cardinals in the red zone and Kyler Murray having to scramble out and getting in there with his legs at plus 260.
Okay. Yeah, I don't hate that at all.
Also, I think Cooper Kupp could have a decent game. He's been all right.
Yeah,
nothing special.
I think he had a decent second game, but he hasn't really, he's not Cooper Kupp when he won the Triple Crown. Let's put it that way.
No, of course.
Those days are gone. The running back situation is interesting with Walker and Charbonnet. Trey Benson, everybody has everything Trey Benson. There is that's the number one play. Receptions over 4 because they do throw the football, and the Seahawks defense have been pretty good. So you got to get the running back out of the backfield involved in the pass game. He's plus 110. I think you'd have to have Trey Benson as far as an anytime touchdown score if you're going to have a same game parlay in here. Again, like you said, who's scoring?
But Trey Benson has never had more than 13 carries in an NFL game.
Well, he's going to have more than that tonight.
He sure will. I don't know if he's up for the workload is the point, though. I don't know if he's up for it.
It is a division battle, and crazy things happen on Thursday night, but maybe we'll get a little easy one here. Let's go Seahawks. Let's go JSN and Trey Benson to score a touchdown. And I'll find another. Actually, the ghost leg parlay, we got to throw that in there because you got to take advantage.
Let me throw something in there.
Talk about
rush attempts. Kyler Murray over 6.5, and maybe even throw that in yards too, 31.5. Again, Trey Benson is not a guy who's accumulated a lot of rushing attempts himself. No James Conner. They're going to have to find ways to run the football. And I think they're going to use their quarterback.
Everybody's going to have Kyler Murray tonight.
Probably, but I think for good reason. They're going to have to find a way to use their quarterback as a rusher. So I like the over 6.5 attempts.
He's got 20 carries this year through 3 games, over 107 yards, no touchdowns. He had a longest one was 30. Yeah, you're right. He's going to have to make some moves. That's it. How about Mahomes? You know Mahomes is the number 1 rusher for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy.
They don't run the football.
Who you got in that one this weekend? Ravens and Chiefs? Because I'm back in the Chiefs.
Yeah. I'm kind of leaning Ravens, honestly.
Chiefs are plus 2.5 at
Chiefs
home.
have owned the Ravens in the postseason mostly.
Yeah.
It just feels like a good spot for the Ravens.
I just think the Chiefs have a little bit more of a better defense up front. So I'm going to go with the Chiefs on that.
I haven't found a survivor play yet, have you?
Yeah, Green Bay.
See, last week I told you I was between Green Bay and Kansas City. I went with Kansas City. I was really lucky. A lot of people got out last week on Green Bay.
I think you were fine. Covering the number is a different story, but I never thought the Giants were going to win that game.
No, I wasn't sweating it at all. I'm glad I went away from Green Bay, though. So you're saying Green Bay this week?
Green Bay's defense is no joke. That's a great defense.
It is.
Great
defense. Cowboys defense, awful.
Awful. Micah Parsons returning. Could it be some fluky type game on Sunday Night Football? Yes, but all I need is win. I'm not giving the 7. So I am still alive in every one of my Survivor Pool plays.
Same.
Let's go.
Another place I'm looking. Of course, Lions over Browns feels obvious, but I might want the Lions later.
Have you already used the Bills? That's the one.
No, I haven't used the Bills.
Then don't overthink it. Just if you're
over the Saints, but I'm the Bills are going to be so many opportunities to use the Bills.
If you're a survive in advance guy, take the Bills.
I like to look long term.
Oh, look at you.
So here's where I'm going.
Oh, okay.
I'm not just survive in advance. I think the Rams are easy this weekend. Easy against the Colts at home.
I do like the Rams against the
Colts. After how last week ended for the Rams.
Yeah. I do like
the Colts 3-0. It's all rainbows and sunshine.
Yep.
I don't think so going on the road to LA. I love the Rams.
Going down the board from where I'm at. The Vikings over the Steelers, love that. The Chargers over the Giants, love them. This is Survivor Pool. I'm not talking spreads here. Chargers over the Giants, absolutely. Too much for Jackson Dart to be keeping up with that offense and going up against that defense. The Browns and Lions don't have too much of an opinion, but the Browns defense is up for the test. That's all I know. Eagles and Bucks, skip that. Commanders and Falcons. This is a Falcons game. Falcons bounce back after being blanked 30-0. Commanders feeling good. No,
was Jane Daniels playing?
Not yet.
He was at practice.
Yeah, but it's seeming like he might not go. Plus Terry McLaurin. There's a lot of issues there. Bills over the Saints, easy. Texans and Titans, I don't have anything for you on that one. Patriots and Panthers, Pats. Patriots. They've looked okay. They've turned the football a ton over against the Steelers last week. Panthers coming off of that 30-0 victory. They're smelling themselves. Give me the Patriots there. Love the Rams to win. Nothing in the Niners and Jags game. Nothing in the Chiefs and Ravens game. Raiders and Bears, nothing. Packers over the Cowboys. Love, love, love. Nothing in the Jets and Dolphins. Bengals and Broncos, nothing either. So there's a couple games there that I like from a Survivor Pool.
Yeah, there's honestly, last week it felt like slim pickings. There's quite a few games to choose from tonight.
All right.
Or not tonight, this weekend.
Anything else you want to get off your chest before we get out of here, sir?
Sixers media days tomorrow.
What do you expect to hear?
A lot of complaints about Joel Embiid after he does not commit and the organization does not commit on a official comeback date. He's not going to say he's playing the opener. It's going to be it's not going to use the same language. Don't expect the same language, just to temper everyone's expectations here. It's not going to be the same language as last year where they said ramping up and this vague terminology. They're going to find different language to say that they're not exactly sure when he's coming back. And they're not going to give out a firm date or anything. Who knows when it'll be? They're not going to say his role in training camp or how much he's going to play or not play. He's obviously not going to play in the preseason. So it's going to be a lot of complaining again. Here we go. Same thing again. I do expect him to play sooner than he did last season. But we don't know exactly when that'll be. So don't expect any answers tomorrow. Just because you're gonna see a lot of complaining tomorrow.
Can we cancel? Can we cancel media day? Can we just? We don't need a media day. Daryl, cancel it now. Elton, get rid of it.
We do need it.
I don't know. What are we gonna learn? Like you said, nothing.
It's for the conversation. Sixers talk is back.
It is back. I am fired up for some NBA hoop that is fast and furious coming down our way. And it's going to add to the mix. College basketball, too. We got 2 preseason games for Villanova. Oh, by the way, before we get out of here, yeah, real quick on that one. We will be live from 1 to 3 p.m. I know it's calling for rain, which is terrible, but I did just get an email, and we are going to have some awesome guests joining us out there. Once again, it's the Fox Sports Radio Philly Villanova Family Weekend Roadshow. We're coming to you live from 1 to 3 p.m. in the A2 parking lot. Myself, Ryan Beef Coyle, John Jansen back at the studio. We're going to be joined by Denise Dillon, the head coach of Villanova women's basketball. We will also be joined by Ryan Fannin. Head coach Mark Ferrante is going to be stopping by. Steve Pannone. So we're going to have a lot going on. The Villanova cheer band and dance performance happening near the 10 at 1:35. Who knows who else will be coming through? It's going to be a lot of fun, though, taking on William and Mary. Hopefully they can get a victory. We're going to be talking.
No Willard?
I do not see Coach Willard's name here.
Neptune showed up last year for you guys.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Who knows? Who knows? Again, you never know. You never know. The coach is out there. Actually, I did see an article about a Villanova basketball player today. Do you know anything about that?
Regarding
On3, is that the name of the outlet?
That's a site, yeah.
And what, you got to pay for it?
You do. It's a subscription model.
So they had something of it. Goodman put it out there. It was a Villanova player. And forgive me, man, I can't remember who was here last year and who wasn't. I'm sorry. Pull it up.
I'm trying. I don't have a lot of
Jeff Goodman. There he is.
I don't know what you're talking about. It was probably just like a profile. I don't think it was any news.
It was Villanova's news. Devin Askew is out indefinitely, Kevin Willard told. Devin Askew.
That's not some impact play. I mean, they're going to play 9-10 deep.
Yeah.
But that's not going to change the season.
Was he there last year?
No. Almost the entire team is new.
Okay.
Not all of everyone, but almost the entire team is new. Because it was Willard's first year. He had to recruit a lot of different guys.
All right. It didn't strike me that he was there. I'm like, all right, what's going on there? And then Goodman put it out there. So I'm like, oh, let me click on 3. And I know the Field of 68 is with On3. And then next is something you have to pay for. Oh, by the way, I did subscribe to The Athletic. I'm a first-time subscriber, Sam.
Where have you been?
You're what else do you subscribe to?
A lot. Too much.
Do you?
Too much. I would have to go through my subscriptions, but it's too much. Athletic's always been a mainstay. If I were to subscribe to one sports news site, it would be The Athletic. I'm trying to think what other things.
Now,
I used to subscribe to ESPN Plus, but they don't make you subscribe to that for articles anymore.
Yeah. Do I get the New York Times with my Athletic subscription?
I don't know how that works.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't?
No. But I am excited about it.
I actually have a subscription to the Inquirer.
I canceled it.
Yeah, it's shared. It's a shared subscription.
I feel bad, but it just didn't really hit me like it used to. And it's a shame because it's Philadelphia and I want to support local journalism. And I think there are plenty of people that do great work, but nothing was really grabbing me to the point that I'm like, I need to have this subscription. And I think it was $20 a month, something like that, $25 or something like that. I'm just like, you know what, man, if I'm not really dialed in on this, what am I spending it? Like I'm not donating. To me, I think their sports in general have come down quite a bit. But like I said, there are plenty of people that do good work. It just didn't grab me like it used to. The Athletic, though, there have been plenty of times in the last few months that I've went to go click on something. I'm like, that's The Athletic, and I got to pay for it. And I'm like, And they had a great deal. It was free for like whatever the week, and then it's $20 for the next year. So it's like, all right,
great deal.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
I'm trying to think what else I subscribe to. It's a lot out there that I feel like just rack up my bills.
I just canceled my Disney Plus subscription.
Seriously, after Kimmel?
No, I'm joking.
You should have got it back.
Hey, that was a great line by him.
It was
when he
we
pulled
that
out the slip and was like, I got a note from my boss.
It was also great when he was like, well, you say I don't get ratings, but I do tonight.
Oh,
and he did. He was like quadrupled his numbers. That
6-something million.
That was NFL numbers.
I don't give a damn what you say out there. Government should stay out of everything when it comes to that. So I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. And we are entering into we are in a very dangerous territory. And when the FCC director is coming out there saying that you can, quote, do it the easy or the hard way, and that is a direct quote, we have issues.
All right, it's time to go swinging and digging.
Shout out to Ted Cruz. Shout out to Ted Cruz of all
swinging
people.
And digging. This is a sports show, not a political
Cruz
show.
of all people, Sam Oshtry, standing up.
Yeah, he was.
That
a lot of people on the other side of the aisle were.
What are we doing?
And that's what Kimmel acknowledged that night.
What are we doing?
FCC is going to come for you next.
Good grief. Unbelievable. I was actually doing some research on when the FCC started and how it came about. And I was just like, it's very interesting. That's all I'll say. This is a sports deal. You're right. Go USA. I love everybody. Coming up, swing it and dig it. I'll be back tomorrow, Football Friday. Julian Edlow's going to be joining the show. Kyle Fisher will be on the show. We got an awesome show coming for you. Ryan Ogle live from Bethpage Black. So much to do tomorrow. Make sure you tune in at 3 p.m. I promise we keep it light, having fun. We love everybody. Daily Ticket is out. Coming up next, swing it and dig it. Peace.
You know what's great about your investment account with the big guys? It's actually a time machine. Log in and